You are now entering Video Village,
where we value future-proofing. 欢迎世界上最伟大国家的人民。
Coming up,
Jordan reviews Among Us.
Sam reviews Tiptoe,
And we both review Nirvana the band, the show, the movie.
Masters of the Universe,
Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Ladies First,
CLARKSON'S FARM, Season 5.
The Sheep Detectives,
Hokum.
Michael,
Disclosure Day.
and Widow's Bay.
Right. No time.
No time.
No time. So,
Oh, bye.
bye. You're going to start Among Us.
Okay,
Yes, go.
Sam,
Yes.
have you heard of the hit game Among Us?
Yes.
Oh, would you like to tell us about it?
I don't know much about it. It's a space thing, right?
How convenient.
I would say... Okay, I see what you're saying, but I do know a lot about it. I just don't want to talk
Yes.
about it. Okay, I was going to say, what are the odds I would know it was a space game? Among Us doesn't scream
No.
space, does it?
What does it scream to you?
Among Us?
Yeah.
Nothing. I suppose horror, something horror-y.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an online social deduction game, so it's kind of in the spirit of like Werewolf.
Yeah.
You play, well, everyone, it's a group game. You play as astronauts trying to carry out all of these assigned tasks on a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the crew are actually imposters that are planning to kill off all of the normal crew members.
Like the, fuck's it called? The traitor, was it? Or the traitors?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, it's similar in a similar sort of spirit. Yeah, so the crew, the proper crew, have to identify the imposters and jettison them out into space before they're all killed and the imposters are all that are left. That setup is pretty much the narrative spine of the show.
Right.
A show that was announced in 2023, completed in 2024, and then basically just shadow dropped online in June 2026. No fanfare.
Right.
No announcements, just like, hey, the show's out now. So I found that odd, because this is something that I was like aware of, so I was sort of keeping an eye on it in the background, and it just appeared online one day. I was like, oh, okay. I wonder why they did that.
Is it on Amazon? Is it on Hulu?
I don't even know. Paramount, I think.
Paramount, okay.
Yeah. But then when I booted up the first episode, and I saw that it started with this sort of parody induction video,
Right.
narrated by Yvette Nicole Brown, to two crew members, one of which was played by Patton fucking Oswalt.
Voiced by.
Voiced by
Yes.
Patton fucking Oswalt. Although Patton Oswalt does look like a bean. And these are little bean... All the other astronauts are basically little bean people.
Okay.
They
I think he looks like a gnome or a gargoyle more
Okay.
than a
Would you...
bean.
He's at least got like a bean shape to him, right?
Yes. I mean, don't throw stones. But beans are featureless, aren't they? And Patton Oswalt, you can't say that for him.
No, he certainly has features.
He's
doesn't
featured.
he?
He's often featured.
yeah. Featured too much.
Yeah.
I would wager. But yeah, Patton Oswalt, Randall Park, Yvette Nicole Brown, Ashley Johnson, Elijah Wood, Wayne Knight, Dan Stevens, just to name a few.
Right.
It gave the impression that this is we get the fans because of the IP, but we get everyone else because of the cast shows. It wasn't the strongest first impression for me. Not least because I didn't really know who the show was for. Because there's no like swearing. It kind of has like, initially had the character of like an adult animated comedy, but there's no swearing and there's no smut, although there's the occasional kind of cheekiness as if it's going to go in that direction, but it never truly does.
It's a shame that that's what one has to mean when one says adult animated comedy.
It does, yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to have something that's just a bit over young people's heads. It's complicated or...
Adult because of the maturity of it.
It's sophisticated, yeah.
Yeah, and not just, fart gags.
Yes.
And, well, you can...
Not Kevin, which has been cancelled.
Yes.
Woo!
We did it.
I guess so.
The world did it.
No, we helped it. We watched it. I suppose we watched it illegally.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
But we told all of the people that weren't watching it anyway that it wasn't worth indulging.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, there's none of that in Among Us, but there's gore.
Right.
Cartoon gore, granted.
Yes.
Because, like I said, all of the astronauts, they're little bean people. They have visors that sort of curl and frown and warp in the absence of an actual face to emote with.
Right.
And they all have the proportions of beans and their hands kind of float alongside their bodies.
It makes me think of Worms. I mean, that PS1 game.
Sure.
You know?
Because Among Us, it's got a very like cartoony, like, indie... It's not a complicated art style that it's got. Yeah. So I guess it's something that could exist on a less taxing system like that. Yeah, so they're not like humanoids, but there's decapitation and bisection and explosions of flesh. This is kind of like baby's first body horror.
Right.
Where there's all like this body horror stuff is in there, but it's not like... I don't think it's unacceptable for a child to watch it.
Okay.
But I could see how some parents would look at that and go, I don't know
Okay.
if I'm comfortable.
So it's icky more than it is grotesque.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, the astronauts, they don't have skeletons so much as they have a single bone that kind of functions as their entire...
Right. A bean bone.
Yeah, a bean bone. So, yeah, when they get decapitated, there's literally just a cartoon bone sticking out of the top
There's
of their
something
head.
so fundamentally unappealing about that
A bean
phrase.
bone.
Yeah, because it's just something vegetable
that shouldn't have
with
bones.
a bone.
Yeah.
A bean bone. Imagine eating a bean and it had a little bone in it. God, was this alive? I mean, I know kind of whatever, it is alive, but
Yeah.
Carry on. Yeah.
Okay. So there are 10 episodes, but they'll only set you back like 10, 15 minutes apiece.
Right.
So it wasn't the biggest commitment in the world, which is why I kind of ended up persevering with it.
Yeah.
Episode, to sort of like build on the fact that like it didn't give me the strongest first impression, episode 5 is essentially a trip episode, which again are sort of very characteristic of these types of
Yes.
adult animated comedies that you and I hate.
Yes. Well, certainly stoner kind of oriented stuff, yeah.
It's contextualized as they're all suffering from oxygen deprivation because there's a leak in the ship, but they don't realize it.
Yes.
Because at this point, they have dispatched an alien imposter, but there's another one on board they're not aware of, and that one has sabotaged the oxygen.
Got you.
But we still get a trip episode out of it, effectively. So I was like, ugh, okay. And then episode 7 is entitled 6 Angry Crewmates, which is a direct parody of 12 Angry Men. Mm-hmm. How direct, I can't say, because it's still in my backlog, 12 Angry Men. But the dialogue that Randall Park's character delivers at the start of the episode, and the accent in which he delivers it, it gives the impression of dialogue that is ripped directly from something else.
Okay.
Especially since a lot of the characters, once he's done that bit, are like, what are you doing? Why are you speaking like that?
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, the most obvious comparisons would be it all takes place in one room.
Which it does.
Starts with everyone against one guy who manages to turn everyone else against one other guy.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that episode, the framework of that episode is they realise there's another imposter among us. And so the captain is like, we have to jettison someone else out into space.
Right.
And the whole crew are like, no. But then over the course of the episode, they identify who they think the imposter is and they jettison that person out into space. And they turn out to be wrong about it.
Right.
And then, like, I don't know exactly what happened or how gradually it happened. But I've sort of come away from the show broadly positive.
Broadly, is that a pun?
It wasn't, but thank you.
Yeah, you ran away from it. You runned away from it.
I baked away from the show.
You baked away from the show.
It has a much stronger second half than it does the first half. That 12 Angry Men parody actually ends up feeling like a very natural inclusion to the story.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they realised after the episode had kind of been beated out that, this is basically 12 Angry Men. What if we did like a fun little play on that?
Right.
Because I think even if you took all the 12 Angry Men stuff out, most of that episode would survive in like unchanged.
I could see that being what feels most organic to me is, let's have an episode now where they have to, it's basically like a jury and they have to, we could do like a 12 Angry Men riff.
Could be that.
So probably they came close together. I thought. Yeah.
But at that point in the show, half of the cast have already been murdered. They've already neutralized one alien threat, as I've alluded to. At that point in the story, the characters are scared and they're paranoid. And it's like the show gradually gets more comfortable letting those honest reactions play out. Because it starts out, everyone's kind of silly and they're all making puns and everything. But then, as they're all dying off, they're getting scared.
Right.
And they're getting, like, furious with each other. And when that innocent character gets thrown out into space and it turns out that they're not an imposter, they kind of try to console their best friend who's left on the ship. And the best friend is like, no, this is all your fault. Like, even the people that voted against this person, you legitimized their murder, essentially, because you treated the vote as if it was fair in the first place. And again, just something about like, okay, I wasn't quite expecting that from the weird, silly Among Us meme show that it had initially presented itself as. Another thing that I really liked as well is the title sequence is updated every episode to reflect the murders.
Okay.
So, for example, in said title sequence, there's a character sprawled out on a hospital bed that's kind of lazily swilling a glass of wine. as sort of way of showing that character's personality, kind of in that single tableau.
Bad kidney bean.
Bad kidney bean. And they get dispatched in the first episode. So in every title sequence going forward, that character is lying in bed decapitated.
Okay.
And as more of the cast get killed off, their bodies end up replacing them in the title sequence. And it's not just swapping out a model either. The actual events that are unfolding in the title sequence change to accommodate the fact that characters are now missing in their entirety. I just thought that was like a really cool little detail. And maybe sort of contributed to this idea of, oh no, there's actually some effort going into this. It's not just a lazy, like, well, we got the IP and we got the cast. What else do we need to do?
Right.
It's nothing amazing. It doesn't transcend what it is. It's not a perfect version of what it could be. And I don't think it's going to convince people for whom this just isn't their jam to cross the Rubicon. Like, I don't think I would recommend it to you.
Doesn't sound like something I would.
No, but with me, the show had the opportunity to change my mind because of the kind of stuff that I'm into.
Yeah.
And it did.
Right.
It just about justified its own existence to me. Broadly, I'd put it in the camp of good video game adaptation, if not decent thing in its own right.
Got it.
Having now watched it, I have no idea why they shelved it or why they shadow dropped it, because it's just as well. Oh, but it's just as well. Because there's probably one season's worth of content that they could get out of the Among Us premise.
Okay.
And I think they did it.
Okay.
And like I said, there might be a better version of this out there that could exist, but they've done it now as far as I'm concerned. So
do you know if it's renewed yet?
I don't know if it's renewed. I'd be shocked if it was, because like I said, the fact that it just like came out of nowhere.
Yes.
It's weird as well given the IP, because Among Us came out in 2018, but it didn't... it sort of became a viral sensation during COVID, so much so that it won Best Indie Game and Best Multiplayer Game, I think, at the 2020 Game Awards.
Right.
2 years after the game was actually released.
Okay.
Which...
those Game Awards are
I was going to say, I don't know about your OCD, but... that the game came out 2 years ago.
It's an annual award ceremony.
Exactly, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They've always been ridiculous.
No, apart from the orchestral medley that they played before Game of the Year, there's nothing really
to be gotten out of.
Yeah. As an award show, it's a farce most times.
Yeah.
But it's like not that bad Among Us, the TV series. If you're thinking of giving it a go, give it a go. But maybe like wait until like the halfway point. Because I could see people watching the first couple of episodes and go, oh yeah, it's not for me.
Well, it's short enough that how much of a demand and sacrifice is it if you're not into it?
It's basically a feature film, but it's 10 episodes. And
God knows we've seen some dire feature films.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So for what it is, like I said, it's not a perfect version of itself, but it just about justifies itself as a thing that exists.
Okay.
So there you go.
So that's that.
That's that.
Okay, so I think I've got one that's just me as well.
Okay.
That's Tiptoe. You know anything about... I don't know, we've talked about it, but...
All I know is that it's Russell T Davies.
Okay.
Which is why I stayed away from it.
I'm surprised. I thought you'd just see that out of curiosity, you know?
I don't know, because I feel like...
It's over between you two, is it?
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I indulged in Russell T Davies' work outside of Doctor Who that much anyway.
No.
But having seen what he recently did with Doctor Who, it's like, oh, I don't need to see him without any restrictions on what he's allowed to do.
Well, you would not like this.
Okay.
It's basically Alan Cumming and David Morrissey are neighbours.
Yeah.
Alan Cumming plays a gay man.
Oh, does he?
Surprisingly.
Oh, interesting.
David Morrissey plays a not gay man with a wife and kids, though the marriage is on the rocks. Kind of bloke. It is an electrician that kind of struggling to get work, and his son, one of his sons...
Because of those damn gays, is it?
There is actually some connection, but that's... Well, yeah, that's...
Damn gays stealing all the electricity.
I think it's not necessarily the gay... Is it the gay? It's more like the left and like immigration, and because of that, electricians are out of work. There's a bunch of political stuff in there. But yeah, they don't get along. And the first image of the show, we see that Alan Cumming has been lynched.
Oh, right.
He's hanging from a lamppost outside his house.
I see.
And then we go in the days leading up to it to see what happened. It's set in Manchester, which a lot of Russell T Davies' earlier shows were set. Like It's a Sin, it's a mini-series orbiting gay. Russell T Davies has become a rather annoying man.
Okay.
Much of this show can best be described as didactic agitprop. Do you know what agitprop is?
Not really.
So agitation propaganda, like to get people riled up about something. It's the same energy that characterised his return to Doctor Who, but more overt. because yes, there's not that family guardrail thing, you know. Alan Cumming runs a gay bar staffed entirely by aggressively flamboyant LGB types. The recurring regular Melba is excruciatingly irritating and functions as the show's political conscience. There's a monologue in the first episode that I'm sure it must be the clip doing the rounds on all the chat shows and stuff. Melba exhaustingly sermonizes upon the show's core theses with eye-roll provoking moral outrage. That drag is a protest, a scream, a punch in the face. That homophobia is back to 1990s levels. That we tricked them, let them all come out in the open where they can be shot down. That because Cumming employs trans bar staff, he's on the front line of the war, called a pedo and a groomer because he hires chemically castrated children. That the President of America has given permission for men to attack. Fundamentally, that being queer in 2026 is an inherently political act. Now, as much as I disagree with the vast majority of that, there are obviously stupid motherfuckers that would call someone a pedo for supporting trans people.
Yeah.
Whatever our personal thoughts on that issue, you know, let's at least have the charity and the awareness to recognise they're doing it because they think it's the next civil rights frontier, right? That it's the same as gay, that it's just a matter of compassion and acceptance. I believe they're wrong about that, and also there are obviously evil pieces of shit that threaten and beat up gay people. But being queer, and let's drop that, being gay is political? No. It is not. Don't try and conscript everyone into your ideological battle. Plenty of gay people, maybe most, just want to be left alone. There are gay Tories, gay everything, but that's the modern left view. Your identity is your worldview.
Yeah.
Right?
Wasn't there was it Bill Maher? Wasn't there a thing someone was talking about? Oh no, I think it was this whole idea that as an actor you should only play what you are.
Yes.
So only gay people should play gay characters.
Yes.
And I think he said, well, firstly, that necessitates a gay actor to come out as gay.
Yes.
And that's if they don't want to, you can't force them to do
right.
that.
Ironically, that statement was made by John Leguizamo, who's now playing a Greek in The Odyssey.
Oh, funny that.
And had played other ethnicities before he made that statement. So it's
right.
Basically you don't play a darker person if you're white, don't play a gay person if you're straight. Everything else is on the table.
No, it's funny. There was a YouTuber, ProZD, I think his name was. He's a voice actor. He's an Asian guy, but he's got a very deep, sort of booming, ideal for fantasy character voice.
Okay.
And he kind of publicly was people that aren't Asian shouldn't go for Asian roles and stuff like that. And then not long after that, he was like, why am I only being cast as Asian characters?
Right.
Mate.
Yeah, that's...
what do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it has that same Who energy where so-called marginalised characters...
Who?
Like Doctor Who.
Oh, I thought you were Hua.
Oh, right.
It
has that same Hua energy.
Yeah.
They charge you for sex. Yeah, where marginalised characters grumble about their oppression with a tone designed to evoke a tilt of the head. Oh, they're awful. The characters, look upset, appalled, I'm listening, babe. It's got that vibe. One TP, trans person, we're going to make that a thing, TP, describes how her Polish housemates threatened to kill her. Cumming suggests she go to the police, and she responds, yeah, that will help. It would. It would. I'm really sick of the anti-police stuff, even in the wake of Henry Nowak. Have you heard about
I don't think so.
Guy got stabbed by a Sikh guy, told the police had been stabbed. They were like, I don't think so, mate. Put him in handcuffs and he died.
Oh, maybe I have heard of this, actually.
Big deal over here at the moment. Apparently the pronouns game is our fault, and they do mean us when they say you lot, right? Because in the playground, we'd keep asking gay boys, what are you, a girl? But when they dared to nail their colours to the mast, we didn't like that either. I think you and I represent the common sense Brit when it comes to these matters. Gay is not trans. A gay boy is still a boy. Are you implying that those who adopt the opposite pronoun are just gay? We might accidentally agree there.
Okay.
But anyway, the first episode also features a cross-cut juxtaposition of everyone wanking to their screens, except David Morrissey, who was watching videos of real-world atrocities on social media.
Okay.
Obviously a blunt metaphor about it being its own kind of pornography. But for God's sake, you can do both. It's not...
You can wank off the atrocities.
No. It's not one or t'other, but not at the same time, I stress.
All right.
You can watch porn and watch... I know a guy does that. The show is at its best in that central dynamic between Alan Cumming and David Morrissey, the latter of whom is very good and by far the more compelling character. He convincingly negotiates the build from passive aggression to violence. You feel his rage and shame and powerlessness. And when it's him incoming, the latter is the one making sense, right? Which is good, that's handled well. But the story does position him as an uptight bigot because he finds the bar staff's relentless graphic innuendos about their big cocks toward his straight son unpalatable. Well, I would find it unpalatable too. It's justified. Whatever the nature of the sexualities involved, it's an aversion to overwhelming flamboyance, not homosexuality. Friends talking about it in private is one thing, but these queens, man, I tell you, not everything needs to be a public declaration over a tannoy. Oration, if you will. Outside of the political hysterics, there are things about the show that are decent. While the parents should know, I actually think it's good that Morrissey's gay son confides in coming, shush. Though the gay son ends up behaving disgustingly in the end too. If there's any nice to be found, it's here. His heart, Alan Cumming's heart, breaking for this kid who's in love with a boy that denies his sexuality. The elder gay that's been through it all. That quieter side of the drama when it stops shouting. And the show is self-aware enough to know the left eats itself. While a lot of his stories are maddening these days, Russell T Davies is a good storyteller. I can't deny that. The TP is a despicable character. I do wonder whether there might be something smuggled in there about trans people fucking things up for gay people.
Okay.
You know that Dave Chappelle joke about they're in the car? It's like, oh God. It's like, I want to go over here. No, look, we've been going in one direction. You know? But, we know how Davis feels about that stuff, so I doubt it. It nevertheless ends up that way, The men that kill Cumming are responsible, obviously, but it wouldn't have happened without the TP's interference. When all the stuff is finally settling down between the two men, the TP invites Morrissey's 16-year-old gay son out for a drink to coax him out of the closet, taking him to a party where they strip his shirt off and put makeup on him. 16, dude, right? Not only is it illegal, it's just, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, look, I know there are gay people all over the world whose families won't accept them, which leads them to their found family, right, in the gay community. Historically, it's been very good for that. But this is just wrong, no matter what the TP says. Yeah, exactly, he's 16, who's there for him? It just comes across as, at best, as massively misjudged audacity, at worst, as predatory. Only hardcore ideologues wouldn't be alienated by that. And if what you want to preach is acceptance, this is not the right way of going about it, People are going to watch that hating that character.
Yeah.
They can't just get away with everything because they're trans. The thing is, Davis created Morrissey's character too, right? That headspace, that worldview. While I'm confident to say that I'm much more enlightened than the bloke, I wouldn't sit in a gay bar being all baffled and angry. I just find campy ostentation so off-putting. It's just my sensibility. I would catch my face occasionally watching the show, just in a rictus of distaste, but not for gays, for the loud, for the unseemly. Morrissey watches a drag act at the bar, goes home, watches a video of the drag queen, and his hand flirts with masturbation.
Okay.
Right? I'm so sick of that fucking trope. It's so reductive. It's the equivalent...
That hatred for gays is actually closeted homosexuality.
Yes.
Right.
It's the equivalent of, you don't like me because you're jealous, right?
Yeah.
Not all homophobes are repressed, self-loathing gay guys, or bi-curious, or whatever he is. But that's like, I say reductive, but in a way, it's actually overcomplicating the matter. In fact, it's worse than you're implying. It's innate disgust. And disgust makes people do the worst things. See, it's actually complicating things to say, God, these closeted guys and their anger. Like, no, it's worse than that. It's they just genuinely don't like you. They genuinely don't.
All these people that hate Muslims, they just really want to be Muslim secretly.
Right. It's, it's a slightly different thing, obviously, but no, they actually are just disgusted. It doesn't mean they're not gay at all.
Yeah.
They just are disgusted by you, and it's not right. But you're making it seem more elaborate than it is, actually,
Yeah. Also, there's perhaps, I don't know if it would work this way, sort of this weird suggestion of it's all kind of happening within the camp, as it were. Where it's the people that are causing the real problems, the people that are really angry and lashing out are the closeted homosexuals. It's kind of keeping the actually fully straight people sort of out of the fold, almost.
What's interesting about that is because these characters were always repressed gay guys, it nonetheless has to lay the blame at the straight door, if you will, because if it's all gay guys that are self-loathing, why would they have that self-loathing attitude if it hadn't been instilled by straight people?
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there'd be no self-loathing if it was just generally considered fine, right?
Yeah.
So it still has to come from straight people. Yet it seems that all the homophobes in these shows are always closeted gay guy, which in a way feels like a dig. Bizarre coming from the gay writer who's supporting gay rights. It's like, oh, you can only hate me because, like, you're gay as well. I know, it's weird. Ultimately, the circumstances of the hanging are kind of dumb. You go in thinking Morrissey is the culprit, so immediately you begin doubting that, right? But he will nevertheless unleash the horror, advertently or otherwise. In the 3rd or 4th episode, we see him walking up to the police, because every episode's framed by the present day.
Okay.
He walks up to the police and says, this wasn't a murder, it was an execution, like very somberly. But the show doubles back on itself, and it is indeed Morrissey that incites and directs the lynching. It's a mob that does it. They could have done something much more interesting and subversive. The final scene, taking place 2 years before the series, has Cummings saying to his friend, 15 years ago, everything was fine. Spot on, mate. Spot on. It's good that you've said that. It's not the Holocaust it's made out to be, but it does feel worse now. It does, for sure. Why do you think that might be, right? I don't think you and I need to unpack that. We have before, but you might consider some answers that don't run to the destination of all roads. Trump. That's always what this is.
Right.
Because Trump is in office. Like, no, homophobia feels worse, and I would concede it feels worse than it did. There are reasons for that. Many reasons for that. He goes on to say, every day, every little thing that happens, like banning a book or removing a name or pulling down a flag, they seem like little things, but there's a violence behind it. Well, let's reserve the word violence for violence, but there is a venom behind it, no doubt. And I'm just curious whether those examples were consciously chosen to reflect censoriousness on both the right and the left. Because if we're talking about pulling down statues and flat... That's what the left is now for these days.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. I think he probably thought he was just talking about the right. It doesn't really feel like an interesting conclusion to the series. Good things about it. Often irritating, frustrating, maddening.
Sounds it, yeah.
You wouldn't get nothing out of it.
Okay.
And I can't say I would recommend it on balance. Yeah.
Also, your new abbreviation would make...
TP.
Yeah, it'd make Halloween a bit more tricky to navigate, wouldn't it?
With toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to think if your child comes home and goes, oh, I TP'd the neighbour's house?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
He's on a register now. Okay. Mutual reviews.
Yes.
Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
The review. After 17 years of failed schemes to book a show at the Rivoli in Toronto, bandmates Matt and Jay appear to be at their wits' end. But never mind, Matt just saw Back to the Future and has a plan to pretend that they are time travellers, blissfully unaware that Jay is laying the groundwork to try a solo career. But before Jay can be all apologies, they discover that Matt has inadvertently invented a working time machine where it transports them back to 2008. With all the opportunities that this presents, will their fortunes finally be in bloom?
There we go.
Or will they rape me? I don't know.
Okay. I was wondering if that was going to be...
the last one, is it?
I thought you were going to do like a... what was that thing you did like A24? Like you're a last black man in San Francisco?
Oh, yeah. You're a negative creep. You're a hot chick.
Oh, you've
boss.
done it. Okay. All right.
You're a lounge act. You're on a plane. You're a scentless apprentice. You're a radio-friendly unit shifter. You're something in the way. That was it.
That, yeah.
I didn't do that. So
you didn't do that.
No. So
okay.
you can rest easy.
Yeah, I like the something in the way is like it's. Oh, I mean, I am a negative creep. Like I would say, I'm also a radio-friendly unit or whatever. But it's like I can't. Even, you have no definition to me.
Do you know what? It was like
you're just something in the way.
You know, I mean, I didn't do this.
Yes.
But I think had I done it, I would have found it a lot more difficult than the A24 ones, because the Nirvana titles don't as readily lend themselves to...
No, you're a lithium. You're a Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Exactly, yeah. So I think when you get to like, you're a something in the way. Just like, dude, I'm really trying.
Yeah. Okay, well, for me, this will be a quick one.
Okay.
I have no relationship with the show. I know you do.
Yeah.
I might have seen the pilot many, many, many years ago. I don't think you really need one.
No, I think you can watch the film without having any concept.
They give you what you need.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are jokes and nods I missed, but you apprehend the big picture quickly. I like the gorilla aspect. which, I mean, Guerrilla, there's not a big...
Yeah, this is a weird show to, like... I think it's one of those shows where you have to see it to kind of comprehend what it's doing.
Yeah.
Because it's this very strange mixture of, like you said, guerrilla filmmaking, where there's a hidden camera aspect
yes.
to some of the episodes. Because I think the framework is there are these two guys, Matt and Jay, who are in a band called Nirvana the Band.
Yes.
Oblivious to the fact Nirvana is already a band. It's that kind of level of...
Oh, they're oblivious to it?
Yeah.
Okay, because like the fact there are two ends was them skirting copyright, but that's kind of a meta joke, is
yes.
it? That the show is skirting copyright.
This is one of those shows where... I think I've seen interviews with them before, because, they do a lot, especially in this film. There's a lot of Back to the Future in this.
Very
enough for you to think, how on earth did they get away with being so...
Without buying the rights.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I think they're not outright using the music, but a lot of the film's score is heavily influenced by that score.
Yeah.
And they're showing scenes from it, and a lot of the plot is taken from Back to the Future, a lot of the iconography they use as well. And this interview wasn't directly about the film, this was the show way back. I remember them being asked, how do you get away with half of the shit you do? And Matt Johnson was basically like, it's two things. It's having a very, very good understanding of fair use and what that actually means, and having a very good lawyer. That's basically what they need to make this work.
Well, weirdly enough, if I'm thinking of a comparison, though it's for not exactly the same reasons, it's Murder and Successful, which is, there's a script.
Yeah.
But things will go off the rails and you kind of have to follow it that way.
Yeah, I think the film took them about 200 days to shoot.
Okay, because they were kind of riffing on what was happening. And,
because they had a script and they sort of went in with a framework.
Yeah.
But then when they were doing some of the hidden camera stuff, if they had a specific encounter that would reframe scenes later on in the film, or if a real world event happened and they were like, oh, we can incorporate this, they would change the scripts.
Well, so if they did that, it's masterful, because I didn't notice any of that.
It's one of the most intelligently put together films of the year. It's really well put together.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it feels like, you have a script and then you have little moments that you might go off book.
Yeah.
But if much of it was dictated by, then it really is very good. Like, to me, the only thing I can think of is there's that girl that's sitting outside the CN Tower, and then when they go back there at the end, they're like, I recognise you. Obviously, they shot it on the same day, right?
Yeah.
So they had that planned. So it's an interesting way of doing something. There's also How To with John Wilson, right, where he has an idea for a theme for an episode, but will get distracted, get, like, invited to a party, and will end up on, like, a ship.
Yes.
And so, the History Concrete guy, right, that's coming out later this year. Yeah, I liked the visual effects. They were seamless.
Yeah.
Because they're injecting them into... inserting more appropriately into footage from the actual show, right?
Yeah, this is one of those, like, I think ultimately this is one of those films where whatever you think of the film, it's just as interesting reading up on how they achieved it than it is watching it. Because in terms of when they go back in time to 2008, they do a very clever thing where they kind of justify in world how they're getting away with it. Because they're being followed around by a camera crew, Matt and Jay, in the actual, like, fiction of the thing. But then when they realise they're in 2008, they're looking at their camera crew going, God, like, cameras like that don't exist in this time.
Right.
You should switch over to cameras of the time. And so they end up using cameras that they originally used to film the original web series.
Yes.
And all of the web series footage that they use, because their younger selves are in the film, but it's their actual younger selves that they filmed back in 2008. I think they said that their editors basically just went through thousands of hours
all the B-roll
footage, and they just edited their older selves into that footage.
Yeah.
And again, it is, as you say, seamless the way they've done it.
It's like a documentary in that sense. Like, we have all this footage. What are we going to do with it? You know? Yeah. No, absolutely. One little detail that's weird: The Hangover didn't come out till 2009.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Because you see all the films on a marquee, and they're all 2008 films. Except The Hangover.
Did it come out earlier in Canada, maybe?
No.
No.
I looked into it because I was like, right, they must know. That's the most basic research you do.
Yeah.
But it didn't come out till a year later.
Okay.
And that's important because that's the film he goes to see.
Yeah.
And something in it is, it's like they call him paging Dr. Faggot, and he's not laughing.
Yes.
But everyone else is. So it would be my guess that had to be part of the script, the initial idea. Because it actually doesn't make sense.
Is it a film festival they go to? Because TIFF is like a big thing in...
No, they just go to a cinema, don't they? It's just...
okay.
Yeah, with the things up on the marquee. And it's like, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like Horton Hears a Who and
Right.
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist or whatever, and then The Hangover, which didn't come out till a year after.
Okay.
That's like, I'm sure I'm missing something because that's the most basic thing you look at.
I mean, it serves a plot function.
Yeah, but come on, that's like a big one. Isn't there no other film from 2008 that you could... I mean, Tropic Thunder came out in 2008.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. I like all the stuff with the CN Tower, like them landing on the roof of the stadium. I love all that. But yeah, integrating that footage, it's not just impressive with the original show, but like when you see Jay on talk shows and like on Fallon and hosting the Oscars or whatever, about to get slapped by Will Smith.
Yes.
All that stuff's really good. The film features Ben Petrie, co-star of the recent Honey Bunch, where I sang his praises.
Okay.
He seems to be in every Canadian film I see now.
Right.
It's a good finale, a good like Back to the Future style finale.
Yeah.
They employ the lost flashback sound.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I think that's what they do. They just collect stuff from culture, from pop culture, and they use it. Okay. Sometimes they use it in the way they use The Hangover, where it's the kind of like...
impetus.
Yeah, and it sort of informs the characters, maybe we are actually back in 2008, because it's a crowd full of people laughing at the word faggot.
Yes.
But then sometimes there'll be more subtle references, like, they'll use like that sound effect.
Yes.
Kind of like Edgar Wright. I think he pops things in the background, doesn't he, of his films?
Yeah. I didn't find it particularly funny, is the thing. I recognise its accomplishments, but I thought it was ultimately a rather slight film. And it just doesn't really do it for me. But I do recognise and understand how impressive the filmmaking is. But that's something I applaud. It doesn't mean it's something I like.
Okay.
You still have to make me laugh or make me care. And in that sense, it's quite... slight is the word I would use,
Yeah.
But I do commend it on filmmaking.
Yeah, I guess I find myself... Because I do like it, broadly speaking. But I find myself cheering it on as an accomplishment of filmmaking, of indie filmmaking, as opposed to
a comedy.
As a comedy that I like.
Yes.
Again, just to kind of like... Because I have read up on it, and I've watched interviews about it. And that was all the stuff that I was like the more fascinated with. For example...
That's a problem, though.
It is maybe it is a problem.
It should augment something you already really like.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be better than the thing.
No, that is absolutely true. Yeah. But like when they're up on the CN Tower, for example, they've got drone footage of the tower, haven't they?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that in Toronto.
Right.
They've got... Apparently, they mandated that all drone manufacturers have to build into their software... like an upper limit on how high the drone can go.
Okay.
So when you're within a certain zone in Toronto, it can't, like no drone can fly as high as the CN Tower, basically. So their drone operator found this like tallest building in Toronto that wasn't the tower and recalibrated the drone so it thought that was the ground. So that's how they were able to get that footage.
That seems like if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Quite an obvious workaround.
It does, yeah. I think they said, like, in the interview, you could tell that they were talking around how they did it so that no one else could copy them.
Okay.
And also, when I think he parachutes, there's a scene where he parachutes onto, like, a bus or something.
Yeah.
In the finale. Apparently, they scheduled that so it was on the same day as, like, Taylor Swift's Eras tour.
Right.
The thinking being, law enforcement are going to be so tied up with everything else, whatever we do is not going to matter.
Sure.
Very smart filmmaking.
Yeah.
But, like, that is ultimately what I come away thinking is, like, wow, what an accomplishment as a film.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment as a comedy.
It deserves awards as a production.
Yeah.
It genuinely really does. It doesn't mean that I find it funny or that I like it in that way. Yeah. You know? But it's not a bad thing at all. And it's not like it's terrible as a film. Yeah. It's just, it's a mid kind of film.
Yeah.
If you ignore the way it was made. You know?
I would recommend it to anyone that has a passing interest in film or anyone that is like learning filmmaking. I think this is possibly.
I mean, I'd kind of, if you're vaguely interested, because even if you're not into film, it might be your cup of tea, just as a comedy.
Yeah.
It just happens to not be mine.
But I think what I was leading on to say is it's harder for me to recommend as a comedy because I personally didn't. Yes. I don't think it's a bad comedy.
No, it's slight.
Yeah. It's just not to my taste. But as a piece of filmmaking, I can't praise it enough.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed. Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe. He-Man. We Men. Let's go.
Yeah, that's enough.
I don't really know what Masters of the Universe is.
No, I was going to say, well, it's Masters of the Universe, but neither do I really. I mean, I knew my uncle liked it when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And I knew by the power of Grayskull. I always knew that.
Yeah.
And Skeletor.
And Flash. Is that from it?
No, that's from Flash Gordon.
Okay. Never mind then.
There is a Queen song that's associated with it, though.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. So not much. Just as like an artifact of 80s pop child culture.
Because when you think of like 80s toy lines that became franchises, because that's what this is, right?
I think so.
Because I think it was a toy line first. And
it's called He-Man.
Which the film, I mean, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, but the film is not too thrilled with the fact that it has to carry that baggage.
No.
Does it? But like Transformers, whatever you think about like the lore and the convolutedness and the,
shit.
Whatever you think of Transformers, alien robots that transform into vehicles. Okay.
As a toy, yeah.
As a toy, all right. They're at war with each other.
Yes.
That's why there are so many of them and they all have different functions. Sure.
Yes.
I have a basic grasp on what that universe is. G.I. Joe, it's like spy, right? It's like spies and agents and world domination. And,
yeah. Like a more exaggerated James Bond.
Yeah. But it's that kind of...
Yeah.
It's operating in that ballpark.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like Archer.
Yeah. I have a bit of a grasp on what that world is supposed to be.
Yes.
He-Man. It's like fantasy. And there are robots. And there's a cat that talks. And there's a evil as fuck looking castle where the good guy gets all his power from.
Grayskull. I always thought Grayskull was about... I think of Skeletor.
Skeletor, yeah.
Because it's the Skeletor. But no, Grayskull's actually the good thing.
Yeah.
Where the good guys live. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was just fantasy. He's a hero. He's ripped and swords and skeleton warlocks. That kind of thing. Okay, so this is directed by Travis Knight, who is an animation veteran.
Yeah.
Most notably, the very good Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yes.
And the live-action Bumblebee.
Yeah, which is
all right.
I can't remember if I was one of them, but it's not a film I've thought of since.
No, yeah. The writing team includes Chris Butler, another animation guy, regular Knight collaborator, and David Callahan, Across the Spider-Verse, and many bad movies, including Doom, The Expendables, and Mortal Kombat.
Oh dear.
Again, I have no relationship with this franchise. A rather annoying tone is established from the off, that it's going to treat the material with its tongue in its cheek.
Yeah.
Right? In the opening narration, Adams refers to the Sword of Power, and he's like, yep, that's what they went with. It's that.
Yeah.
And when describing islands in the sky of Eternia, he affirms, I'm not high, I swear, there were islands in the sky.
Yeah.
It's cheap, easy humour of the same sophistication that assumes animators must have been tripping, dude, It's gag reflex and very, very American. I found its sense of humour deeply unappealing.
Yeah, because it's universal. Like, even when they go to Eternia, the fact that he, like, when he's telling them, like, these are all of the names that I made up for you, like Fisto and Greek angel goddess or whatever it is. And they're all like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah, that's
like, well, even in Eternia, they have, like, limits on... Okay, so there is actually a green tiger that they ride into battle, but calling it Battle Cat is where they draw the line.
I know they kind of, with Whedon started it, but though he did it well, but like Taika Waititi started to treat the Asgardian thing as goofy.
Yeah.
If you go back to Thor, they're all like, this is a ripped guy. Are you high, dude? Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Asgard's serious.
Yeah.
Odin and that, and it has to be.
Yeah.
Right?
You grow up in that. You're not going to find it. Maybe there's something to be said about the fact that he was sent to Earth, He-Man, or Adam.
No, yeah, what they
he was sent to Earth very young. So to him, maybe, like, when you've had a lifetime of people going, what the hell are you talking about? This is all mad. You're in...
Because what they're doing, right? Okay, I'm fine with leaning into the goofiness, okay?
Yeah.
But it's actually funnier if you treat it with a straight face.
Yeah.
Right? Without the commentary on it. You don't need to point out the silliness of the names and the lore. But that's the thing, curiously enough, they attempt that decilification, right? Where the silliness is given a context. Like we said, they're Adam's childhood assignations of what he remembers.
Yeah.
And everyone is quick to point out how puerile it is many times. The way, a nice middle ground there is on Earth, everyone's like, Fisto. Then when he goes back there, that's life. And he's like, oh my God,
Fisto, you remember me.
I'm finally home and where I belong, where I'm not treated as a goofball.
Yeah.
And then, so you can have your cake and eat it. And also, rather than the film being so allergic to the silliness like of He-Man, that everyone has to be like, no, that's ridiculous. Him going back home and being recognized, it's kind of like the difference between being uninitiated in the franchise. If you're a real fan of the franchise, you don't find it particularly silly.
Yeah.
And that's where he's home. So that's what that represents.
There'd be a nice little maybe meta component there.
Yeah, rather than it being so afraid that people are going to think it's silly, that even the silly people have to think it's silly, you know.
And yet, even though like Battle Cat, oh don't be so silly, and Fisto, oh don't be so silly, he's still called Skeletor.
Yes.
That is still left, basically.
But he's a comedy character as well in this, right?
Yeah. Which I think, I don't know whether that is something that culture has imposed on him, given that, like, we think all the 80s stuff is silly now, or whether he's always been a bit of a comedy character.
I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think he's like...
Because the original Skeletor was like, a very silly voice.
But it's like Cobra Commander. It's just like evil, gimmickly... pure evil, right? But without it commenting on that. I mean, things just didn't do that back then. So we're looking at the 80s and think it's silly. It was also a children's show in the 80s. Yes. It wasn't like this was primetime entertainment, even though that did have the likes of Knight Rider and things like that, which were pretty... It's a talking car show. But yeah, it revels in its 80s excess with electric guitars, The Cure, and Queen on the soundtrack. It's in the mold of something like The Never-Ending Story or, Flash Gordon, or for more contemporary comparison, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, right? I think that which is much better, but similar kind of tones.
That's a version of this done well, that film.
Yeah, I would agree. Nicholas Galitzine, I don't know how his name is pronounced, he does not display star quality here, in my opinion.
Is he He-Man?
He's He-Man.
Okay. I don't know, again, if in the source material, Adam... We'll say Adam and we'll say He-Man.
I'll be honest, I don't even know if in the source material he's sent to Earth. I don't know if that's a thing or whether they've just done that for this.
Just as like the audience need to be introduced to...
Yeah.
And yet they still do the cold open in Eternia where he has to fucking explain it anyway.
Yeah.
So when you're on Earth, you're just waiting for him to go back.
Yes.
It's totally pointless. It's just a trope I hate. It's this idea that like, the audience won't get it.
No, I know.
They'll get it.
Yeah.
Transformers 1, when that came out, everyone was like, oh, finally... Just the like Transformers thing that's just on Cybertron and there's no humans. And it bombed and it killed the franchise.
Even though there are humans in it, we just got home from watching Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
And they're toys.
Yeah.
Is it ever explained why the toys can talk? No,
yeah, exactly.
They just can. You know.
But yeah, I don't know if in the original show, Adam was always ripped before he became He-Man.
Yes.
Because the transformation sequence in this seems to imply that he becomes more ripped when he transforms.
Yes, it's not ripped, it's more ripped. It's not like Captain America where he's puny and then is Chris Evans.
It would really help, I think, sell the transformation and the kind of like, it would be more like visibly more cathartic for him. Like this guy he's been this like weedy guy all of his life that knew he was the chosen one, and now he's ripped and he's capable in a fight, and it's like, oh my god,
like Captain America, which was like, other than the head was goofy, like Chris Evans' head on a little short bloke, you know. But no, it actually had some impact then when the machine opens and he's got his glistening pets. Yeah, you know.
Whereas in whereas in this, it's like, did it just change his outfit? He was ripped before.
They do like a close up of his like muscles like bursting, but when it cuts back to him, he's like, no, that's just how he was. Yeah. This is meant to be his fall down to the God Stranded on Earth setup. I can't see this being the same Hemsworth-like springboard. But we don't. That kind of stuff doesn't really happen anymore. We'll see. A sequel's already in development, though it's not done well financially, so I don't know how that has quite happened.
Yeah, maybe they were like, initial projections were good, and they were a bit hasty, because I think this is, like, it's gone.
It hasn't made its money back. Yeah. Camila Mendes is nice to look at. Idris Elba is there.
Is he not like nice to look at?
He's not my type. Okay. Maybe he's yours. He's black. No, it's because he's a man.
Is he not your type? Ew, no.
Jared Leto is sufficiently buried beneath vocal and visual effects to be unrecognisable as Skeletor. Except when he laughs, you can hear a touch of the Joker.
But
I know that is Skeletor. Yeah, to be fair. And there's a Dolph Lundgren cameo, of course.
Of course,
with isn't there a meta?
Yeah. Oh, well, do you have any advice for a new guy just starting out?
Right.
And Dolph Lundgren was basically like, ugh.
Yeah. It's like the Schwarzenegger, Dwayne Johnson thing, right? And Welcome to the Jungle, have fun. But that was enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of about it for me, really. It does what most of these 80s revivals do. The same energy, the same humor, the same expectation of a wider universe. The sounds with She-Ra, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. It's an old school quest movie with a postmodern reflexiveness, and that's only half my tempo.
Yeah.
Right? But I can see it being an audience, but it didn't do that well, so
yeah,
maybe not.
No, it's interesting.
I think if they saw it, a lot of people would like it. I think it's, I'm not going to go see Masters of... Like, what's that? I don't know what that is.
But it's so funny, isn't it? Again, you alluded to the fact that we saw Toy Story 5, and we're going to talk about it this episode. It'll be in a later episode. Yeah. We went 4:00 on a Sunday, so obviously cinema full of children.
Yes.
But there were also just like people there, just like couples that are sort of around our age, and just like friends that were just going to see it. It's like that film has like no age barrier. I went to see Obsession in the cinema on my own, and I got a trailer for Toy Story 5 before it. Like, how bizarre is that?
I'll be honest with you, we went to see Toy Story 5. I'm glad we did. I'm not going to review it now, but I love those films. There's nothing wrong with adults liking children's films. It's more... but it also depresses me that there was a Toy Story trailer for Obsession.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Like, I don't know. There's something just disheartening about it. I said to you,
this should work both ways. There should have been a Resident Evil trailer before Toy Story to like even the balance.
Yeah, but it's...
But no, it's interesting. It's like some things like Toy Story 5, for a lot of people of our generation, no question. I'm going to go see Toy Story 5 with all my mates from work. Masters of the Universe... do I want to be seen?
Well, I think the people that liked it are of an age where they don't really go to the cinema at all, if much. They have children. I mean, growing up in the 80s, so they're at 40s, 50s now, right? So... you
don't think this is like I'll take my children to see...
Maybe, but it's just not strong. Look, we live in the age of IP, and people know what Spider-Man and Iron Man and all that is. I mean, no one really knows what Masters of the Universe is, unless you know it. And we didn't know what it was.
Well, like you said, everyone knows I have the power.
Is that enough to hang like a multi-million-dollar movie?
Well, as you alluded to before, there's enough for Knight Rider. Talking car, that'll do.
No, but that's a TV series. I'm talking about, like, can we count on the brand recognition of By the Power of Grayskull being strong enough to draw people to the cinema?
Yeah.
It's in a weird place, I think, that film, because you got IP, then there are original films that are doing very well, like Obsession and Backrooms. Though that's not exactly original, but... This is an IP that's kind of that's not original enough.
Yeah.
It's in this weird mid space. It's the kind of film I could have easily guessed not doing well financially.
Okay.
And it's lived up to that. So that's all I have to say about it, really.
Yeah, I guess ultimately it could have been worse.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
It could have been worse.
Yeah. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
That's all I got, really, yeah.
Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Is that the theme?
That's the theme.
Okay.
I like the theme. Do you not like the theme?
No.
Okay.
I can't say I dislike it. I just don't know. It's nothing to me.
Okay.
Like, when you did that, I was like, oh, is that the...
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's nothing. It's air. It's fairy dust. Yeah. Is that your intro?
This is The Mandalorian and Grogu. You know what that is or you don't? You know?
Yeah.
It's Star Wars, but it's not like...
Episode.
Yeah, well, ironic, of course, because, as everyone has pointed out...
Yes, it's
this is just The Mandalorian Season 4, the movie.
Yeah. Nirvana, the band, The Mandalorian. The show,
The Mandalorian, the Grogu, Season 4, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's The Mandalorian and the Grogu go on another adventure.
Yep. They're not even doing the long time ago thing now.
This is like, I think, as divorced from traditional Star Wars as they've gone.
But because they didn't do it in a recent TV in Maul. I was like, oh, have we dropped that now?
Yeah.
I thought maybe they're just doing it for the films. But they're not.
They're not.
So that's over now, is it? Like, that's the basic. You start with that card a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. They did it in Toy Story a long time ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that. You know. Okay, so the as ever, who cares, with Star Wars. Will Grogu ever grow up? Is that just the way Grogu is?
Well, the Yoda race, they can live for like thousands of years, right?
Yeah, but they become like Yoda, right? Or like,
eventually.
So it takes like 400 years to become like a strapping...
Yeah, like I don't know how old Grogu is at this point.
Yoda was like 900 years old, right?
Okay.
For some reason, that number popped into my head.
Okay.
So I don't know.
No, it's possible that, like, Grogu will outlive everyone alive in the Star Wars universe today and still be a child, I think.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if they've ever gone into the gene. Nor do I care, frankly. Why are you asking me these questions?
No, I just realized he's been like that for a long time, and the cuteness does have to run out at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, it has already for me.
Okay.
But yeah. Martin Scorsese features in a voice role. First he was a pufferfish, now a multi-limbed Xenomonkey. Speaking of Xeno, Sigourney Weaver legacy casting. Now was when you put her in a Star Wars movie?
It is a strange, like, oh yeah, she hasn't been in this before. Yeah.
Huts are not supposed to talk.
Or be hench?
Jeremy Allen White first is an arbitrary choice, right? But and the fight is ridiculous.
Yes.
A hench slug. Yeah. You know?
But I've seen that now. That is now being made a reality for me.
Yes.
And I can't say,
unknow that.
Yeah. But I can't say that I was unwilling to receive that image. It's like, okay, I've seen the hench slug now. That's something.
You were very willing to receive a hench slug.
Don't be like that.
Star Wars has always been pretty dopey shit, but that was some dopey shit. There are also these very minion-like creatures that did my head in. Did in my head. Yeah.
Are they from like 9? Episode 9 maybe?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they're long standing.
They're just more, whereas Grogu's like, they're more like,
yeah.
I don't know how developed the notional 4th season was before they decided to make it a film, but Scorsese, for instance, he feels like a guest voice in an episode, not a small part in a film, you know?
Yeah.
The whole thing has an episodic structure. You can even pretty much isolate where the episodes would end. Though we do have to acknowledge the bias that many of us went in knowing about the nature of the production. If we hadn't, I don't know that we'd all be leaving saying it feels like a TV show.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It is very episodic.
Yeah.
But if it was never a show, I don't know so many people would be going, that's just a season of TV.
I think it's actually an interesting exercise. I don't know if it's one that we're equipped to do right now, necessarily. But why does this feel like several episodes of a TV show and not a film?
Because I think its high points of like action and the way they're spaced out is not exactly what you would get in a feature film.
Okay.
There's more of them.
Because there are, like you said, there are kind of like action scenes that sort of reach a peak, and then there's a sort of like a ramp down afterwards.
Yeah.
When Grogu is looking after the Mandalorian in the forest when he's been poisoned, that is an episode of a TV series.
Yes.
But why? That would also be a sequence in a film.
It would, but unlike the Hutt fight, that's the end of the first episode. I think it's also because there's a lot of instances where you'll have those peaks and then they'll be back at home base and then dispatched to another mission.
Right.
Do you know, so it did feel like a TV series in that sense. But like I said, I'm admitting that bias, that I know it as a TV show. But yeah, I think the peaks and troughs, as the valleys... The valleys. It's more akin to... It's not like a film. It's not spaced out and paced like a film.
So you think it's the pacing that's sort of like... The pacing is a bit too uniform.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this feels like the length of an episode. Oh, this also feels like the length of an episode. Yeah. That's what makes it feel like episodes living alongside each other. Yeah,
they're kind of... It's more... I'm trying to think of the technical term for it. Like going like that on a graph, basically. Like, a film is kind of more jagged, like up and down like that. Because this is a show placed as a film, it's kind of doing that. It's kind of undulating like a wave.
Yeah, more even, like you said, peaks and valleys,
Yeah. It's not as bad as Section 31, but this feels like the war's equivalent of Section 31.
Yeah, do you see, like, Red Letter Media's review where they were, like, apologising to the prequels?
I have now, yeah.
And I don't know how serious they were being, because obviously they built their name on...
Except Rich. He maintained Attack of the Clones is still the worst Star Wars film.
Yes. Yeah, he did, yeah. But yeah, just like apologising to like Rogue One. And I know like they never liked Rogue One.
Yeah.
Whereas we saw its merits at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this does seem to be, a lot of people are sort of rejecting this. It's like, God, remember when Star Wars used to mean something?
Well, bad isn't what it used to be. Like, this isn't, I would agree, it isn't as bad as Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. But it's blander.
Yeah. That's
what bad is now. It's kind of very slick and empty. Whereas those early Star Wars, those prequels, are like, whoa, that's bad, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, it's something though. It makes me feel something.
Yeah.
This makes me numb.
Yeah.
And that's worse.
Because why? Like, what is it?
And it's Star Wars. It should be exciting.
Yeah.
But Star Wars stopped being exciting around 2017, 2018.
Yeah, when it came back, basically.
No. Force Awakens was good. And then it was basically A New Hope. But it's like, now innovate.
Yeah.
And then Rian Johnson innovated, and everyone went, oh, less of the innovation.
Yeah.
let's just do Return of the Jedi. Yeah, you don't connect to anything. It's just stuff, you know? Boring, and I tuned out really quickly.
Okay.
And that's all. I obviously don't recommend it. But you went to the cinema, didn't you?
Yeah, I went with my father to see it because he likes his Star Wars, and he hadn't watched The Mandalorian. He's okay. He watches Star Wars when it shows up on his radar. He doesn't go seeking it out. So basically, everything's come on with Disney Plus. He's oblivious to.
What a shame.
But then
this is what he's going to think of The Mandalorian. Now.
Yeah, no, I didn't love the first season of The Mandalorian.
No, I never loved it, but it's worlds better.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Galaxies far, far away better.
Better than this. Yeah. So yeah, he was like, "Oh, a new Star Wars." I didn't even know a new Star Wars thing was out. Mm-hmm. Because everyone's pointed out, like, "Oh, haha, Obsession has just blown it out of the water in terms of its, box office taking and its word of mouth and everything like that." But he was like, "Oh no, I'll go see a new Star Wars." So I ended up going with him. And yeah, he came out of it and he was like, I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I remember Mark Kermode telling an anecdote about when he and Simon Mayo were on a different radio station in 99. They did a contest for a fan to go to the premiere of Phantom Menace with them.
Right.
The world's biggest Star Wars fan. And they went and they left like, what do you think? He went, well, it was okay. But you could tell he was crushed, as like hardcore Wars fans were. And yeah, so I imagine if you love Star Wars, this is the kind of film you go, well, yeah, it was...
Yeah, I mean, it did feel like he was kind of having to lean back on, like, oh no, it's very well, the effects are really good and everything. And
the effects are good. I mean, I will point out when effects are good, but that is the death knell, I think, of...
Yeah.
Well, the effects were good.
Yeah.
It was
and I like the Baby Yoda, the way they achieved a lot of that. I don't know if
again, it's like Nirvana. It's impressive, but
I don't know if him walking is an innovation of the film, because in the show I remember him being like in the crib.
It's that he's learned to walk. I think.
Yeah. So just having him like walk around, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat to see that. Like, even though the character is still young, it is growing a bit. I appreciate that it is indeed the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes,
they're both important to the plot. Mm-hmm. There's also these moments of like artistry and personality.
I know what you mean. I think the one that occurred to me was there's kind of a locked off shot where he's advancing through these enemies and kind of shooting them and dispatching them, kind of like the way that the Daredevil corridor fight scene is shot. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a kind of little injection. That's not quite fast food factory.
Yeah. A lot of the dialogue scenes in this are filmed, they're staged exactly the same way interactions with NPCs are staged in open world games.
Right.
Where it'll just
180 back
and forth. 180 back and forth, and the character is just like stiff as a board, like, hello, player.
Yes.
Nice to see you in my village.
Right.
Give me 10 berries. It's staged exactly like that. And then, like you said, there's that action sequence, I think near the beginning, the sort of Daredevil action sequence, when the Mandalorian is holed up in like that little stronghold and it's raining and the bounty hunter's approaching him. There's a POV shot of him like running up onto the roof. Yeah. And that's the only one in the film. In the final...
Yeah, I don't like that though.
No, but this is the thing.
I agree. It's like, oh, why you...
Yeah.
You're kind of breaking the illusion of... Not the illusion. You're breaking the monotony.
They register as anomalies because they happen so infrequently. There's only like one of them.
Yeah.
There's a crash zoom in the final fight when that bounty hunter comes back, and there's no other crash zoom in the film.
It's like if you were watching The Room and there was suddenly this very elegant crane shot.
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
what are you doing? Yeah. And like for all of the CG in this, not the... You can tell it's CG. I know we complain about CG all the time, but like for Star Wars, I was hoping not to recognise the CG. But then... the big like golems outside of the hut's like room, they're animated like stop motion.
Yeah,
I think they are CG, but they have like a sort of stop motion kind of stutter to them.
Yes,
and it looks really good.
Right,
and that's the only time it happens. I was like, more of that, please.
Yeah.
Why did you reserve that for those? Because it helps. Like even the framing of it, it's framed as though they've like superimposed the actor onto a stop motion scene, because there's like a sort of like the door is sort of framing it in a way where you can tell like, oh, these models are actually really small, but they've made them look bigger in the background, and it made them feel huge because there's this stutter to them and they're supposed to be these like hulking robots.
Yeah.
And it's one time
Well,
it's like, why? Why was that? Why did you think of that, and why did you only do that once?
Yeah.
Because it makes you look back on the rest of the film and go, yeah, I could have used that.
This is not a particularly... Well, it's not a well-reviewed film.
No.
Do you think it would be well-reviewed if it was the 4th season of The Mandalorian?
I haven't seen 2 or 3, or The Book of Boba Fett, which I know is also kind of like a like season 3.5 of The Mandalorian or whatever.
That was negatively received. The rest of The Mandalorian is pretty much, by critics, well received.
Okay.
Though most people would agree 1, and then as soon as you get like the Luke, the de-aged AI Luke, then we're kind of out of it.
Yeah, and I think 3 was panned amongst fans. I think a lot of fans hated 3.
Yes.
So I don't know. I can't speak.
I think it's probably on that level.
Okay.
It wouldn't be as good as the first season. So yeah, probably on like a season 3 level.
I mean, if it was a TV series, I think it could get away with being as kind of low stakes as it is.
Well, it would be longer, wouldn't it? It would be 8 episodes usually they do, right?
It would be.
Yes.
But it does, it does make you think, like, why is this a film?
Well, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I haven't seen Solo, but it's the vibe I get. A similar vibe.
You would at least think that, like... I think even with Solo, this is the case. Like, every Star Wars film, the fate of the universe has been on the line.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of that not being the case for every film. You can just have a film where it's not all or nothing. Mm-hmm. But this feels like it's gone too far the other way. Where it's like, I don't even know why this story was worth telling.
It's too parochial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just a guy that goes to get another guy and it pisses off some huts and they just... Like,
I don't know if it's a hard and fast rule across all franchises or whatever. Like, again, going back to Toy Story, there's not a big emotional ending to this Toy Story as there usually is.
Yeah.
And it's good. You didn't need it. It was a different kind of film, different kind of ending. But with Star Wars, if we've had films like where, this thing can blow up planets...
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to see anything else where the stakes are lower. You've done it.
Yeah.
You've done the Death Star. Why would I care about anything else?
It is just funny when the Jedi, like the X-Wings and all the stuff come to help the Mandalorian at the end. They fire like one bullet at the Hutt stronghold and just obliterate this like massive
right
structure. It's just like, because these things are built for war. So the fact that they're just shooting up just like a criminal hideout. It's just so overkill.
That could be like an interesting thing about, like in a normal Star Wars film, there's such small fry that you bring the wider universe into it and they just kill everyone like that.
Yeah.
That can be interesting.
Yeah.
It's not here.
No.
Boring. Not interesting. Don't bother watching.
Yeah, no, we're not on the side of the film.
No.
At all. Don't bother. Really.
Don't bother. Ladies first.
No, you go first. Actually, I don't know who...
Are the two of us? Well, let's speculate.
Yeah, was I insulting myself then?
No,
you were like, ladies first. And I was like, no, you go first.
Oh, okay, that's what you were doing.
No, I didn't...
No,
I didn't know that's what I was doing.
You were responding to ladies first,
yes.
Were you? In which case, you call me a bloke.
Okay.
Or a woman that's not a lady, which is worse.
Right.
You're just calling me like a tramp, a trawler. Yeah. Ladies first. No, whores first. Yeah.
No, please, Miss Trollope. I insist.
Miss Trollope.
Okay.
Antonia Trollope.
After suffering a blow to the head, Sacha Baron Cohen somehow agreed to star in Ladies First.
Indeed.
A film where a misogynistic CEO wakes up in reality where women run the world, men are heavily feminized and subjugated, and both the left and the right can finally agree on something. This film just isn't very good, is it?
Well, I was going to say, when you Sacha Baron Cohen, I can understand the film that would make you anti-Semitic, which is also something the left and right seem to agree on, so at least the far echelons of it.
Yeah.
Directed by Thea Sharrock of Wicked Little Letters, a high-concept comedy that would have starred Jim Carrey in the 90s or the noughties. Instead, we have yet another disappointment from Sacha Baron Cohen. Not that I had any hopes for the film, just the fact he's involved at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When Cohen decides to promote a woman for optics, his assistant, a woman, of course, asks pointedly, "So you want me to categorize our employees for a promotion based on gender and or race?" Like that would be insulting, which it should be in reality. But that's what you're asking for. That's actually what you want. You don't want a meritocracy. Don't kid yourselves. It sometimes works out nicely that way, but by and large, you can't have equality of opportunity and outcome. It just kind of doesn't usually work that way. What are the odds that the most qualified people are going to be a nice mix of black man, Asian woman? That's just not the way things work.
Yeah.
He opts for Rosamund Pike's Alexandra Fox purely because she's the first alphabetically. They'd be listed by surname, no?
Or is the implication that, like, Fox is the first one alphabetically in that list? Because that's quite
It's a massive company.
Yeah.
You know, what are the odds of that?
That's a bit of a leap to make, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think Cohen has aged out of that role. Like, you can be a caricature of a sexist corporate man at 54, but I think it needed to be a 30-something or a 40-something to make that arc and positioning believable. To learn that kind of lesson about life and about... You need to be like a guy, like an ambitious guy in his 30s who's about to take over as VP.
Yeah.
Not a bloke in his 50s where it's weird.
Yeah, it's like you haven't learned... Yeah. I mean, I guess there are some people that never learn those lessons.
Of course, but they're either old blokes that like just grew up like that, or they're young guys that just haven't learned the way of the world. 50 is actually the worst.
Yes, you're not quite like the camp.
Yeah.
Because I think you reach a certain age and people will just go, oh, he's just not going to learn at this point, is he? But
that's the thing, like that stereotype it will become less the old white, let's face it, old white man that's like, those dames, get in here, lovey, and bend over. They will die, quite soon. So, old men are going to start looking different, which will be weird. Woke old men. It's a lot worse than grumpy old men, as far as I'm concerned. It's not clever social satire. It's dopey nonsense. Men are now receptionists and assistants, okay? The CEOs are now women, okay? I don't know why that means that all men would be feminine.
Yeah.
I suppose it's the film actually advocating gender roles as learned behaviour as opposed to innate. Like, if you're like in a subjugated water, that makes you feminine. It's kind of not saying that, women are inherently more feminine. It's saying that it's, social, what the fuck's it?
Well, this to me feels like the biggest failure of the film, and perhaps it might speak to why the left and the right are kind of... it's not as simple as that, but pretty much everyone is against this film. It's not a case where, because it's singing the right tune.
No.
Certain people are just going to agree with it automatically.
Yeah.
No, it seems like most people are going, I don't care what it thinks it's doing.
It's just bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And it's because of that. It's because even though it's swapped men for women, in terms of women have all of the major roles and men are the crazy cat people that live at home and they're just receptionists, it's still positioning masculinity as the superior gender trait. And femininity is the subjugated one. It's also, just that men are now the feminine ones.
There are quite a lot of backhanded insults if you look at the film. And one of them is, by making men that way in the film, you're suggesting that's what women are actually like in life.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, there are no masculine women. In the flipped reality, you'd still get girly girls and butch blokes. They just wouldn't be as common, right? Nothing like that is depicted. Men wear lingerie here. It's Harriet Potter and Donna Quixote. They just haven't thought it through.
Also, is the implication that, women don't wear bras in this universe?
Well, that's the thing, men now wear bras.
The men now wear the lingerie. But biologically, there's a reason...
they don't believe in biology.
Oh, they don't, do they?
Well, I would say no, because that's the point I made earlier. They're saying that gender roles are social constructs. It's not innate.
Okay.
That women are more feminine. That's not innate.
they're not wearing the bra on the thing that the bra is designed to be on.
No.
Not because... it's because men made them do it.
I don't know what that is just goofy shit. They're we're flipping it, so men wear bras now.
Okay.
So, yeah, but women wear them for a very anatomical... you and I could wear bras.
Yeah.
But,
But it's also there's a moment, isn't there, where they say to Sacha Baron Cohen, when they're trying to pretty him up.
Yeah.
So that the women will take him more seriously, because the only way you can get ahead is to sleep with the boss.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting as well, is in this flipped reality where the women are in charge, none of the social issues like that are fixed. It's just that women are benefiting from them now.
Right.
So you still have to sleep.
There always has to be, because that's the thing. There's, if women run the world, there'd be no wars, there'd be no...
Yeah.
Not according to this film, there would be. You would just be the ones conducting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have to sleep with your boss to get promotion. It's just that it's the woman you have to sleep with now, rather than the women sleeping with the men.
And to be fair, the film isn't saying that's any better. There are occasional barbed jabs at, this is what women have to put up with. But the film isn't actually saying, no, it's good, isn't it? It's sort of saying the opposite. It's saying he has to see what it's like with the shoe on the other foot.
Yes.
To be fair to the film.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't... It's not like it's a better world with women in charge.
But yeah, there's a moment where, in as part of his transformation, they're encouraging him to get, filler in his dick, I think.
Right.
Wouldn't that just, like, ruin the dick biologically? Because your dick has to grow. It fills with blood and it grows.
Well,
so if you just fill it with
there
filler,
are growers and showers, aren't there?
No, but like if you're just filling it up in the same way, because in this universe, it's basically a boob job he's getting, but like a dick job.
Yeah, dick job. Yeah,
it was being filled. I suppose with filler.
When he's flaccid, it would be mightily impressive.
But where's all the blood go? It can't grow. You can't use it.
Like I don't know the whole thing about are you a grower or a shower. I've assumed, I guess, that always meant that your penis extends when you get erect.
Yes,
or it kind of maintains its length. It just gets hard.
My assumption was always that it doesn't seem that impressive when flaccid, but when it grows,
yeah. Well, like, I don't know about impress. Okay, I just took it to mean maybe it doesn't mean that, but I always assumed it meant that your dick is a certain size, and then when you get hard, it kind of doesn't get longer. It just sort of calcifies.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like,
right,
you got a massive dick, swinging dick, and then it does that. But it doesn't. The length doesn't change.
I see.
That's what I always assumed. I don't know. I am a grower.
Okay.
Right? I don't know what a shower is.
Right.
Like Michael Fassbender, can that get bigger? I don't know. But yeah, there may be fertile if fragile ground here, because it's actually based on like a French film or something. But actually, much more than the film can reckon with, more than it can deal with.
Yeah.
It's too big for the film. But it's charmless and logicless, as to be fair, a matriarchy would be. Just joking, kind of.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the fact that it's a bad film, it just opens itself up to those kind of jokes, doesn't it? It opens itself up to that kind of like, see?
This is kind of the point I was making about Tiptoe. If you want to preach, like, accepting trans people, don't make one really unlikable in your show.
Yeah.
That's not the right way of going about it.
Because this is also the type of film where I would have assumed that there would have been like, oh, maybe it's a male director or male writers and they've tried their hand poorly and like, oh, let's see what it's like for women. But it's women, right? It's written by women, it's directed by women.
Cool. I don't think it'd be allowed to be made if it wasn't, right? It's a Netflix film, isn't it? Or Amazon. Yeah, it's a female. I mean, women can be bad directors too. I mean, most are, right? Most male directors are also bad.
Okay.
Yeah, they've just made people that look like women men and vice versa. Men aren't men in this universe. Women aren't women. As soon as you start to think about it, it crumbles entirely. Like, women are doing all the manual labour. It doesn't work, does it? The muscle tone hasn't changed. The bodies haven't changed. And you can't ignore it and have fun. It just does not work on a foundational level. The most haunting change to me was his sudden ownership of a cat.
Right.
He wakes up and there's a cat, and I can't imagine a more terrifying scenario. The film features Red Tennant, who is David Tennant's non-binary child.
Okay.
A girl in the alternate reality, a boy in the real world. Not that you'd be able to tell without the voice.
Yeah, I can't say that I could tell the difference.
Kind of a little bit higher in the real world, and then sort of in the alternate one. No, other way around, but you get the point. It's pure tokenism. Like, see what we did there? They don't actually do anything with that idea.
No.
I don't even know what it's supposed to fucking mean, because non-binary is neither, both, everything. It's, if they were trans at least, it would make some sense that you flipped it. You know, binary, one becomes the other.
But that's something that you can't possibly introduce into a film where it's comedic, like it's comedic and dramatic premise exists on that binary.
But let's say
men become women, women can become men. But what about the people that are neither?
But
what about the people that are both? What about the people that turn from one into the other?
But again, it's the film saying, obviously, that biology has nothing to do with gender. But it's kind of, if they were trans, like it's a little girl that thinks she's a boy.
Yeah.
Then maybe in the alternate universe, it's just a girl that thinks she's a girl, or it's a boy that thinks he's a girl, right?
Yeah.
Non-binary, the whole idea is I don't subscribe to any of that. But they do the thing with the voices, so you know, oh, there's kind of some subtle difference.
Yeah.
The joke should in fact be that everything else is different except the kid.
Yes.
You know, they're the one, because they're non-binary. They don't subscribe to binary. You can't flip it. You can't flip a binary. A non-binary.
Yeah.
As well as high concept, it's broad, sometimes Americanly so. There's a deeply uncomfortable scene where Fiona Shaw, who's the boss, cartoonishly feels herself up while Cohen pretends to be a cowboy in front of her. I'm so sorry, Fiona. But a woman asked you to do that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you did it. Shame on you, Thea Sharrock, for doing that to Fiona Shaw. And it's Americanistic in its third act redemption during the mandatory apology tour.
Huh?
What?
Mandatory.
Okay. During the woman-datory apology tour, Cohen tells Catherine Hunter's cleaner, "You are far too intelligent to be a cleaner," which is just a backhanded insult to cleaners.
It certainly is.
But that's also, it doesn't, I'm thinking about it now, it doesn't make sense because, yeah, in the flipped reality, she's a high-profile exec. Why does that suggest her personality is exactly the same and like she's the same intelligence in both realities?
Yeah.
She just happens to be a cleaner in this one. And I don't think, whatever you want to think about the patriarchy, that's too big a gulf.
Yeah.
The patriarchy does not have that power. A woman that smart that could theoretically be an exec probably wouldn't be a cleaner. Might not be high up there because of sexism, but that's a pretty massive gap, you know? It's like Will Hunting. But he was doing it deliberately. It's not coherent enough, coherent enough to get actually incensed over. It's just rubbish, and people broadly think it's rubbish. No culture war here.
Yeah, which is a relief, really,
yes,
isn't it?
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, we don't have to get angry about it because
everyone hates it.
Everyone's right on the matter.
Yeah, or left.
Oh.
Okay. Clarkson's Farm Season 5.
Welcome back to Clarkson's Farm, the greatest farming show in the world. This year at Diddley Squat, the squatters must contend with challenges old and new, such as the pub, the pigs, the weather, the government, the future, bovine TB, heart failure. I thought Season 3 was supposed to be the depressing one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say that's the thing. Season 3 didn't hide it. It was like a depressing first half, and then you had that little rise towards the end where everything started to be okay.
Yeah.
This is like, you start out and you're like, okay, this is more Clarkson's Farm. We're in the routine now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay. So for the first batch of episodes, I thought, because they released 4, I think, on the first week, right? This will be a nice start to the day. I'll sit down and binge Clarkson's Farm. What immediately followed was Clarkson having stents put in his arteries.
Oh, yeah, no, actually, it starts shit.
Yeah.
Like, it starts with a shitty feeling.
Because it's close to a heart attack.
Yeah.
But then things settled. I made breakfast. As I feasted on my eggs, I was met with the sight of a sheep's post-mortem, it shit pouring into its own stomach. It was hard not to take all that personally.
Yeah. What did I do to you, Clarkson's Farm?
Yeah.
We went to your pub.
I know. It's like he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Firstly, the floating notes or floats. I didn't know drone shows were a thing.
Okay.
That was quite cool. I could have gone peacefully to my grave having never seen Charlie dance. I found much pleasure in Caleb walking into a pane of glass.
Yeah, that was good.
That was funny. I still don't like Nick the chef. There's a hort to him, isn't there? Hannah the birdwatcher is a weird creature, but there's something of a tautology there. You know, birdwatchers, train spotters, anyone that just watches things as a hobby. Right.
Look, it's gonna move. I liked her though. Did you not like her?
I knew you would like her.
Why?
Why did I know you would like her?
Yeah.
I think I know your type.
Okay.
Which is weird because it's not like you've had. I'm not insulting you. Saying it's not like I've been introduced to all these girls.
Well, it's also she doesn't fit into the category of like women that I've been interested in before either, right? I don't feel like she's.
Obviously, she does because I knew you'd be into her.
Okay. Well, she's just a character, isn't she? Like
she's
sort of like a fully formed character being brought to the show.
Yeah,
because she turns up quite late. I think she's in the last 2, maybe.
Yeah. She's late edition.
Yeah.
I have no enmity toward geese, but I have to confess some small satisfaction in seeing them flee in terror from the electrocuted fence. The ostensible Skylark nest detection system is really cool, as it stands a top-notch shit locator.
Yeah.
The scene where all the diners sample the spice reminded me of Arya poisoning House of Frey in Game of Thrones, or Gus dispatching the cartel in Breaking Bad. Like, there's this one bloke, sweat patches all over him, his eyes closed and hands together almost in prayer. That would be me in that situation.
Yeah. In fairness, though, what did you expect? Like, I don't know how the Scoville scale works, but 15 million sounds pretty hot to me.
Well, it's like hot than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected. I suppose it would be people that had a more refined palate.
Okay.
I don't know how they selected the sample. I don't know. I suppose I just I don't do spicy really.
No.
So I have no tolerance for it. I suppose I expected people with their mouths open, just like, and like a bit of water. I didn't expect a man
vomiting.
Well, vomiting, and just like genuinely his eyes closed, sweating, like, please help me stop this.
It's like being on acid. It's like, I'm never going to be okay again.
Exactly. Yeah,
This is my life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy the nerdy farming stuff about soil and whatnot, Charlie's Domain, even if I don't retain it. As a fellow pig admirer, any cracks about my love life, and you'll get a smack. I felt sad.
Well, after what you've just been like to me, it was like, oh, you choose your type, even though you've like barely done anything.
But that wasn't a dig. That was just a matter of fact. If you said that I was attracted to pigs, that would be an opinion, I think. No,
would it,
or would it be a fact? Yeah, I felt sad for Clarkson when his porklings had to go, but I did laugh at the fact they played Cat Stevens' father and son in commiseration.
Yes.
It's a bit much. I'm sure I've said it before, but I like things about businesses. The show has lost its initial appeal in that Clarkson is no longer the bumbling outsider. He's an empire now.
Yeah.
But the show has evolved. As well as its political and public awareness dimensions, it's a show about people dealing with the fact that things go wrong all the time.
Yeah.
The inner workings of a farm and a business and a community. I suppose you could say outer workings for a farm. It does find the humour where it can and is now admittedly diminished cluelessness, but that's the thing. It's not pretending. It lacks that Top Gear shtick. I don't know how much is manipulated or confabulated, but it feels like very little. There's somewhat less farming, and the nitty-gritty of modern architecture was, it was a fascinating new world. But whatever artifice it might have, it is a documentary. If he's spending less time in the muck, then he's spending less time in the muck.
Yeah.
Even if he isn't. We've been there, done that. Do you want to see the same thing season after season? It's actually mightily impressive to find new compelling stories within a cyclical ecosystem.
Yeah.
Where it is the same thing every year,
Well, just like that one episode where they focus on the Christmas grotto. It's like, oh yeah. They probably haven't done this before. This is something new that they can do now because of the pub. And also just the funny, like, the fact that they got the Cause to play the farmer's dog the day before they played the O2, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he just shoves them up in the attic and he's like, right, you're here for 5 hours now.
Yeah.
Before you go down and play.
Yeah.
Because there was a nice little moment for me. I know you probably wouldn't have... It might not have been the same for you because you've seen Top Gear, but you didn't, like, grow up with it, did you? You didn't watch it a lot.
Ish. But yeah, I'll say ish, yeah.
When he's introducing the Cause at the pub, he had his Top Gear voice on.
Right.
And he does that thing where he like raises his hand and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, the Cause.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah.
That's that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like a little, it was, even though
Nostalgia.
he's just talking.
Yes.
It was weirdly nostalgic for me.
Presentational.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you want to look at it. For me, it's a comfortable comedy drama about growing a business with those buddy comedy sprinklings. At one point, Clarkson and Caleb are discussing the latter's parochialism, and Clarkson says, "You've never even been through a tunnel." Like, that had the character of, like, Iannucci or Armstrong dialogue to me.
Yeah.
And it very briefly becomes a road movie. Bruges.
Yes.
Like, you used to have to watch Doctor Who to see places you recognised on TV, right? And, of course, we've now been to the Farmer's Dog. And that was that road we stayed on, right? Where he's putting up the poster.
Yeah, when he's putting up the posters, we stayed in the Airbnb in that town.
Right, in that,
which was really funny, because like when we got there, it was like 9-10 o'clock in the evening, I think we got there. All of the roads were closed, so we were sent through country lane after country lane after country just to get there.
Yeah.
And we got there, absolutely like dead. Everywhere was closed, no signs of life. You don't even know where people would come from.
Yeah.
Woke up first thing in the morning.
Bustling.
It's the busiest place you'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Japanese tourists and like Chinese tourists. Influencers.
Yeah.
Just so many people lining the street. Traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic.
It was mental.
Yeah.
It really
night
was.
and day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are right about, it's like, oh yeah, I've been there. I recognise that now. And just how cool was it as well just to see the farming on the continent. That little like cow farm that's like floating on the water.
Yes.
Like very, very clever.
Oh, yeah.
Farming, yeah.
And when they're in Belgium, Clarkson says, "You're never more than 6 feet away from a bag of chips." I heard friet.
Okay.
Right? When he said that. I thought it was a pun. I thought he was making a pun.
On what?
My subconscious had wit in foreign. I thought he was saying, "You're never more than 6 feet from a bag of chips."
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I genuinely heard that. I was like, oh, that's quite funny. And he's like, he didn't say that at all. you feel the duo's childlike wonder when they visit the Dutch potato shed.
Yes.
Like, all those spuds and then all that bread. You just don't see things like that on television. And when they document all that bread being recycled to feed cows with zero carbon footprint, you just think, Europe, man, you know, like a utopian vision, a notion of which reality swiftly disabuses you. But yeah, I really like the visual variety this season.
Yes.
You know, the Labour Party is absolutely fucking over the farmers.
Yeah.
The Labour Party.
Yeah, I know. It's mad. I mean, you know, I don't know how much this is going to mean to foreign listeners. But I think we do have. I think if you look at our metrics,
do we?
There are people like the amount of people that listen in the United States. It does register.
Oh,
whereas like other countries, it just doesn't. There's not enough data.
Okay,
but I don't know how many of them are returning listeners or anything like that.
Okay, it's probably. I'll say their names. We know one, but I'll say the other ones for the first time. It's probably Eddie and Matthew using VPNs.
Probably.
That's probably what it is.
But yeah, just like, I think it was last winter, was it? When they announced like the winter fuel cost. Basically, they cut like winter fuel spending, or they increased it, or they did something which basically meant that elderly people couldn't like turn on the heating over winter. And the Labour Party were like, no, this is the right decision.
At a time when there was mass illegal migration that were being put up in very expensive hotels and all that kind of thing.
And now just like what the angle that the show kind of deals with is, they've basically reinstated inheritance tax.
The inheritance tax, which is going to affect like 70-80% of farmers.
And they were like, like 20% of farmers, maybe.
Yeah, and there's a big rally and he's like, put your hand up if you will be affected. And it's like everyone. Yeah. I just think how much things have changed in our lifetime, you know? Like, my general impression of history is one where things develop over very long periods of time.
Yeah.
Like, glacially. I think that probably ends in the 20th century, right?
Yeah, probably.
Just in the last 20 years, like, that London Assembly was an honest-to-God protest of the kind that reclaims protest from its sullied reputation, at least for me. In my bones, I'm a working-class person. A cup of tea, the pub, a Chinese. I just happen, in my opinion, to have good taste in film and TV, and I speak pretty well, right? But like, for all the fun to be had about Ponty and for all my not quite feeling like I fit in growing up in it, I'll always be closer to this than anything else. I felt alienated by Oxford, which I visited, I stress, alienated by theatre, an irony considering its grassroots, and there are ways in which I tend toward the small C conservative. Like, I could never go in for the hardcore Woody Guthrie folk thing. My sense of anti-establishment only goes so far. And I don't like framing myself as an underdog. The fight the power thing just withers the older I get. There's this kind of paradox of growing up wanting to be free of your geography and its culture, and yet having no time for the alternative.
Yeah.
I am nowhere. And I say all that just to highlight that when the bloke at the rally says his family has been farming for 175 years and hopefully his son represents the next generation, it touches something within. It's like American Pie. I don't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the farms died, you know.
Yeah.
That they don't do it for money, like there is no money to be made.
Yeah. Another year where Clarkson made a loss, right?
A total loss,
Yeah.
They do it because it's in their blood. And I feel a kind of kinship, even though I have nothing to do with that world. You know? Clarkson mentions his daughter at one point, and you go, oh, yeah, he has children, doesn't he? I don't know why his kids aren't featured, whether they live away, etc., but whatever the case, The Guardian referred to this season as Jeremy Kardashian because of, in their words, the cult of personality around Clarkson and the reality show component.
Right.
Granted, I've never seen Keeping Up Appearances with the Kardashians, but I'm given to understand that if you're in any of their lives, you're in that show, right? His kids aren't. His grandkids aren't, which suggests some class to me. Not that it's the kind of thing you wouldn't want your kids associated with, but that, you know, they're not around. A fox killed a guinea fowl just for fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm actually kind of glad that segment was in there. Like, I got nothing personal against foxes, but it felt like the show doing its job because it was disabusing city folk, as Jeremy puts it, Londoners.
Bucolic delusions.
Yeah, foxes are not cute animals that you can keep as pets. They are wild creatures.
Predators,
that mutilate other creatures for fun.
For fun. They didn't eat it.
No.
They didn't try to eat it.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Animals over there, us over here.
Except for... did you... Like, I liked the bit I enjoyed how quickly Charlie's impression of the donkeys changed. Do you remember that?
Oh, no.
There's like Clarkson has donkeys. I can't remember. What. Maybe it was for the...
Like the nativity.
Yeah, the nativity, and then they just kept them. Oh, I don't know if they had them.
Yeah, donkeys don't do anything, right?
Yeah.
They're just funny.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Charlie's like, I feel like I'm in a petting zoo.
Yes.
In that sort of polite, but I'm sort of telling you off way that he always talks to Clarkson.
Yes.
And then the like microsecond he touches the donkey, he turns to Clarkson and is like, have you felt how soft this is? And he's like feeding him.
Oh, right. When you said his impression of the donkey, I thought like it started off going, oh, and then it got more developed. Right, I see. Like,
it's weird that when this season turned into Animal Farm, they were just like talking to each other.
More on that in future reviews, yeah.
But yeah, it's like he was feeding it a carrot, and then when the carrot ran out, you said to Jeremy, have you got another carrot? Well, like, immediately fell in love with the donkey.
Yes, I will modify that philosophy of them over there.
Yeah.
There are animals we like. We want dogs, we want pigs, we want rabbits and cows and pandas and penguins and donkeys. So we no. You don't
know what I'm going to say.
Go on, then.
What did you think I was going to say?
No, you say it, and I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. I think at one point the possibility is raised of getting rid of the goats.
Right.
And Clarkson is immediately like, no, we are not getting rid of the goats.
Yes.
And someone's like, why? And he points at the film crew and he goes, they love the goats.
Right, okay.
And it turns to the film crew and all the film crew are going, yep, we love the goats.
Right.
So apparently goats are in there as well because the film crew... There will forever be goats on Clarkson's farm because they will not let him get rid of the goats.
That wasn't every animal that we like. I was merely listing some that I like.
You thought I was going to try and defend cats, right?
Well, you did last time I said it. Okay. So we take...
There is a place for them.
No, there's not. Yeah, there is on the ground. So we take those animals, right, look after them, and kill all the other animals, right?
Okay.
Foxes, cats, rats, snakes, wasps, and Palestinians. Hang on, wait. Hang on.
No, that was my turn to be like, what are you doing?
No. You don't like cats. This thing is...
You're going to be like, wait, you don't like Palestinians?
No, that was a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
It's this like, always... Right, either you always loved them and you've been lying, or it's like your mum. You said like the way your mum's relationship changed. It starts off being like, oh, I don't want a cat. And now you're so defensive about cats.
My mum liked cats.
Oh, your dad, okay.
Yes, my dad was like, no cats. Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe was your mum rats into getting two?
No, she never wanted to get dogs. He never wanted to get cats.
Right, okay. Right. It's a bullshit, man. It's like now all of a sudden you're the cat guy. Like you're showing me pictures of cats.
I showed you that picture of Marley.
Marley.
Because it was perfect. It perfectly illustrated how we both felt during...
Was it?
Yes. Perfectly illustrated how we both felt in the heat wave. Would you not agree with that?
I didn't need a picture of a cat looking a bit annoyed, which cats always do, to know that I felt rather humid.
It wasn't that. It was she was hanging out of like a little cat house.
With her face in the sun, the retard.
Yeah. The sun, there was a perfect circle of sunlight on her face and her face alone, and she looked fucking miserable.
Yes.
And I was like, yes. That is how it feels.
Well, how about get your face out of the sun then?
Oh yeah, they're stupid. I can't argue with that.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Yeah.
By the way, I think the reason we're able to eat meat is because the animals we do eat don't seem to have facial expressions.
Okay.
I think if the cow giving birth was like, ah, it would give me pause.
Yeah.
But no, it's just dopey Gorm going, I think it's that. I think if animals were anthropomorphized enough to where they seem to, fucking hell, they had eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's like, it would be much harder to eat them,
okay.
I think. It's the fact they don't seem to be bothered by it.
And yet you really like pigs. And
they don't have expressions.
No, but you're happy eating a pig, aren't you?
Yeah. Even
though as soon as you see a pig, you go,
yeah, but I'm making the point that if the pig looked at me and sort of like winked, I would be like, all right, I can't eat that pig.
Just that pig specifically, is it?
I don't...
What would pigs have to do for you to put you off all pork?
Have a disease like mad pig disease or whatever.
Right.
As much as I don't love pigs, I find them funny. And like certain types of pigs, I want to sort of cuddle till they explode. I love bacon more.
Okay.
I think, unfortunately...
Bacon is unfortunately rather compelling.
It is a compelling argument.
Yeah.
You could do a big vegetarian debate at Oxford, and like the anti-side would just have to put out a plate of bacon and not say a word.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And the season's grand reveal. I appreciate the reality show virtues and value of telling Caleb and Charlie on camera that he has cancer.
Yeah.
If that is indeed how he first told them. But way to drop that on everyone.
Yeah. I don't know, see, because there's a reticence. You can tell that Clarkson is holding something back before he drops that information. Because he's asking them when they're able to do the harvest.
Yes.
And they give him a date. And he's like, oh, God. Is there nothing we can do about that? It's like he's trying to avoid saying it for as long as possible.
I think the plan was always to tell them in that sit-down. How often is it the three of them sitting down like that?
Yeah.
One way or another, it's like, great, okay, we can do it because I have this thing. But as it happens, it's all bad news, right? So it comes across like a, fuck, okay, listen, I have cancer, this is... Yeah, Charlie seemed genuinely in shock.
Yeah.
Like, Caleb cried.
Yeah.
Or, like, teared up, you know.
Yeah.
Charlie was just, like, looking at him. Do you know what I mean? Which made me feel worse for him.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, because, like, Charlie...
I think someone trying to hold it together is more sympathetic than someone who isn't, which seems counterintuitive. But, like, was it Michael Caine who said, like, people who, like, men who cry have to try to be... It's sadder if you're trying to stop yourself from crying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I guess that is the role that Charlie has always served on the show, is he's the guy that knows things.
The Rock.
He's the useful... Yeah, he's the Rock.
Yeah.
He's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Yeah, he's the guy that you go to get shit done. And
he knows what's happening all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So to kind of throw this at him... Yeah, somehow it kind of shakes those foundations a little bit. It's like, oh, the guy that I rely on, who relies on me, he's now going through this. Right. And so that's kind of like... It's like the chain of command is kind of broken almost, isn't it? He's like, oh, this is just broken things.
Well, Charlie's my favourite kind of, I'll say, character. It's a line from The West Wing that I always stays in my head. Because I think when I was younger, certainly, I related to it. I'm not sure anymore. But it's, I think it's to Josh, and I think the president says to him, so the difference between you and me is I want to be the guy. You want to be the guy counts on.
Yeah.
And that's Charlie, right? He's the guy counts on. And later on too, I mean, I think that's like one of the TV moments of the year. It's going to go down as one of the TV moments of the year. But later on, the way that Charlie looks at Jeremy when he's despondent about the cow, like, Charlie is just my favourite. I think he's really good. Clarkson's diagnosis, it was revealed in the show. No one had any idea beforehand. There's some nice structuring whereby testing the cows for TB becomes a metaphor for his illness, like waiting on a good result before bowing out to silent credits.
Yeah.
You know? Get your fucking prostate checked.
Two projects very close together now. Yeah. Andre's an Idiot and now Clarkson's Farm. I get the message. Yeah. It's okay.
The lucky thing is that with him, they did catch it early.
Yeah.
So, and he's in remission, I think.
Yes, he is, yeah.
They're filming the 6th season, right? So, good. You know, and the fact that he uploaded a video to Instagram the day those last episodes were released saying, yeah, look, you're in for a tough ride tonight. It's like, oh, but good. I mean, he's there to tell me.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But yeah, that's like you said, not just silent credits, silent opening of the next episode.
Yeah.
So that's how you really know that this is good work, this is a rough time.
What was that episode called? The reveal episode? I remember it having like a resonance.
I think the last episode is called Reaping.
Yes.
Because that's when they do the harvest.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the one before?
Yeah, I remember having a resonance after the fact. It's not like cancering, I know that.
It's not cancering, no. It is... Yeah, the final episode is indeed called Reaping.
Yeah.
And the penultimate episode, where it's revealed, is Sickening.
Sickening, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that's the naming convention of the show, right? Every episode is ing. Yeah, something ing.
The method of testing TB is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with him. Because, like, I know that in season 3, it was all about the pigs, right? Pigs were crushing their young. And he was like, how have we not solved this?
Right.
And then at the end of the season, they do. Clarkson's ring, right?
Yeah, he builds like a separation.
Yeah, ends up copywriting it, and it's something that I think is used by other organisations now and farms. So I'm really hoping that, like, now that we know season 6 is happening, this might be sort of the narrative thrust of the next season. It's like, look, the way that we test cows for TB. He says in the show, doesn't he? I'm the new guy.
Yeah, well,
you've all accepted this.
This is
absurd.
You've just added to that. Like, I'll be honest. Before Clarkson said anything, I was thinking that seems inexact.
Yeah,
right. Like, you'd think we'd have evolved more sophisticated methods than that. But equally, I thought, but I guess I'm missing something. They must know what they're doing. What am I? But apparently they don't. And that's a sincerely valid point Clarkson makes about being new to the game. So refusing to simply accept the status quo. He says to Caleb and Charlie, look, you've all grown up farming.
Yeah.
I haven't. So maybe I'm like naive, but how the fuck is this like acceptable?
And he
just said he invented the Clarkson. You'd think after thousands of years of farming, we might have solved that problem by now.
Yeah.
So maybe it sometimes does take an outsider to kind of go, we can actually make this better. This doesn't have to be this way.
I really hope it does, because the reason he gets so angry is because they put 2 cows, or cow and a bull, in isolation because they might have TB.
Yes.
And then one of them has an inconclusive test.
And it's like in millimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this cow is pregnant with 2 calves.
Yes.
And they go, it's inconclusive. We got to kill them. We can't take the risk.
Yes.
So they kill the cow. They take it off to be slaughtered, and they get the results back. And it turns out the cow didn't even have TB.
It makes him furious, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's like, I lost a cow and 2 calves for nothing.
Yeah. And they have to close down the farm.
Yeah, the farm is closed down, because they might be infected.
Yeah.
He's like, you cannot do that.
That's either like
the fragility of modern of just farming in general. You can't shut down a farm.
You can't do anything. You can't. Everything goes wrong all the time.
Yeah.
You're not meant to farm.
Yeah.
God, whatever, the universe does not want us living.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the fact we got to space, it's like, mate, it does not want you there. You're not meant to be in space. And yet we endure. But it's either a very badly trained TB tester, right? Or like just a completely archaic system.
Yeah.
I suspect the latter. It could well have been a bit where they train Lisa in his absence when he goes off to hospital. But it made me think, well, it really is just them running that farm, isn't it? And I think it is, And
I do wonder if there maybe at the time there was a sort of an element of, let's see how this show does without him.
Yeah.
That little sequence where the farm is just kind of running on its own. And you're like, okay, I guess this is... Because you feel his absence. There's no voiceover or anything. No. You really feel like... And then the moment he comes back, it's like in Dexter New Blood when he finally kills the guy and then he looks down the lens and goes... What does he say? Like, hello again? Or tonight's the night? Or... He says something.
Do you mean Resurrection or New Blood?
I mean New Blood.
Okay.
Because in New Blood, he's in Iron Lake and he hasn't killed for
that one.
years.
I get confused with the fucking titles. Yeah, New Blood, okay.
Yeah, but then it's like he starts talking to the audience again. It's like, oh, Dexter's back.
Yes.
And then when Clarkson comes...
Dun.
Clarkson comes barreling down in his tractor and he's like, I'm back. Yeah. And you're like, yeah.
Right.
But I don't know about you. I would be fucking furious if I just had prostate surgery, had some of my prostate removed. Sitting down is incredibly painful, and yet I'm in a bouncy tractor because I want to be a part of the harvest.
Right.
Something that last year he had a massive falling out with Caleb over it because Caleb iced him out, basically.
Yeah.
And then he goes there, and they refuse to let him get involved.
I get it. I mean, it does, I know, like, this is the one thing I have at the moment.
Yeah.
Equally, but it's not good for you, mate. I don't care. I care about you. You're not doing it. I'm not letting you do this thing. So I get that side of it as well.
Yeah. I'd still be furious, though.
Oh, I'd be furious. Yeah. So this was indeed the Annus Horribilis. On the bummer graph, many more peaks than preceding years. And these are real people. So, I wish them nothing but the best. But divorcing myself from that purely on a show level, it can't always be an upswing, I'm not saying I would take him having cancer for the sake of tonal variety over him being healthy, right? I suppose I'm just applauding the fact the show is willing to go there, warts and all. Although we don't actually see him when he leaves for his operation because it's about the farm.
Yeah.
I do wonder whether the critic for The Guardian feels like a dick in hindsight. But probably not.
Yeah, because that's the thing. The reviews came out for like the first four,
yeah.
And then subsequent reviews came out afterwards. And there were a lot of people from those first 4 episodes that were just like, yeah, we're done with Clarkson's Farm.
Yeah.
Bin it. It's not fun anymore. It's the same thing over and over again. It's like, it's a farming documentary.
Yeah, I know. But it's not even the same thing over and over.
No, it's not. That's what's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this notion that like, because Clarkson is more proficient now, the show has lost its entire appeal because we were only watching this to see Clarkson fuck things up.
And if that's what you want, okay.
Yeah.
But it's developed. It's grown. You can't. He's a real guy. He's not going to stay clueless about the business forever.
No, of course not. And that would be frustrating because I don't know about you. I know you don't like Caleb anyway.
I don't hate Caleb. He gets on my nerves a little bit.
But that's the thing. Yeah. The fact that he's still doing the clueless, like, what's that?
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm saying something very, like, obvious that everyone in the culture knows.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a type of cow?
Well, it's either him or it's shtick, right?
Yeah.
But I know it can feel like shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, his third child?
His third child.
I don't even think he had a girlfriend in the first season. Yeah, but still, Sam, that's like...
Don't want to tell him.
Yeah, Sam did, like, money, like, little money. Like, thing. Slow down, mate. I know there's not much to do in the country.
He's making up for lost time, isn't he? Yeah.
It's like his third child?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, in Toto, I don't know if if there's been something in the water. There was recently, actually, wasn't there? But I think I enjoyed this season more than I usually do.
Okay.
Which is certainly not mass consensus, like you said. We've watched a lot of this year by year. I think maybe 3 on.
3 on.
Which is rewarding in its own way. But if you binged this, imagine the growth, the rapid growth you'd see, you know?
Yeah.
I don't quite know how, but Clarkson's Farm will probably end up, if not top 10, one of the best shows of the decade. It just puts a warmth in my belly and a smile on my face.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I continue to recommend it.
And we've said it multiple times, and it continues to stay the same. It's probably one of the best put together shows on television.
Oh, the production, yeah. It's that Top Gear thing of just like slick and...
Yeah.
Yeah, incredibly.
Even when Clarkson's going off for surgery and he's getting into the Land Rover and they're sort of like, right, Lisa's going to be trained up on the tractor. You guys, you sort out the harvest. I'm going to be fine. It's like he's saying his goodbyes. You don't even see the reflections of the crew in the Land Rover. No. And that is probably a scene that they had one go at.
Right.
Because even though there's always been like a layer of artifice to the stuff that Clarkson's been involved with, he's going for surgery. Like, he's not going to hang around and redo that scene.
I don't feel it in this show.
No.
I don't know how much, like I said, is confabulated. If you said nothing, I'd be like, come on. But if you said 0.5%, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I continue to like it, which is nice.
Yeah, it is.
Because it felt like season 4, it felt like we were kind of settling into a routine with it. It was like, I'm still happy that I'm watching it.
Yes.
But...
That's the thing. It's just, I can't say that the cancer thing is kind of what made it so, like, I know it sounds awful, but like such great television. It wasn't. I was like writing a lot of those and everything before that revelation, you know, like the Dutch potato, like I said, the visual variety, just getting to see different things.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of like that final punctuation, like, oh, Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, more please.
More please. Get well soon, Jeremy.
Yes.
I guess you are well. Stay well.
Stay
Jeremy.
well.
Jezza. The Sheep Detectives.
So you want to talk about the Sheep Detectives?
Yeah.
The Sheep Detectives.
What was that?
Ew.
Oh, ew. Right,
Ew.
okay.
You want to talk about...
Why didn't you say bar instead of R?
Because, Bar want to talk about the Sheep Detectives.
No, as in bar, you want to talk about the Sheep
Detectives.
Detectives.
You want to talk about... The Sheep Detectives.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
Wool.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Go on the lamb.
Hugh Jackman is a farmer.
Yes.
He farms sheep. And the sheep enjoy being farmed by him. That sounds...
deeply wrong.
He reads them stories because he likes his sheep. He's
Hugh Jackman.
There you go.
Yeah.
He reads them stories because he enjoys their company and they him. And this isn't the film that I'm making it out to be.
He doesn't fuck the sheep.
He doesn't fuck the sheep.
No.
It's not Welsh. Do I do that?
No.
Lead into that stereotype.
I think any farmer.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, he reads the murder mystery stories for which they've acquired a taste over the years. And then Hugh Jackman gets murdered.
Murder.
And the sheep, realising that the detective is Cousin Greg from Succession and is therefore rubbish and incompetent, they band together to find the murderer.
The barderer. Written by Craig Mazin, who, you know, Last of Us, Chernobyl.
Not the Sheep Detectives.
Not you think.
Not this kind of stuff.
It's based on a book, isn't it? I think it's called 3 Bags Full.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Directed by Kyle Boulder, animation guy since the 90s, director of Despicable Me 3 and all the Minions is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's him.
Should we just get it out of the way very quickly? Sure. I don't know if it's in your notes or not, so apologies if we're skipping ahead. Obviously, CG animals.
It's my first point.
Okay.
Yes.
Then make it.
Okay. No, yeah, the CG sheep are unavoidable.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I get like things like Babe, I guess, did like the animated mouths or whatever.
Yeah.
always a bit. I mean, it can be fun, like in Cats and Dogs, where they have to kind of adapt to what the cat is actually doing. Car or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just better to start with CG and just stay there. And, you know.
And I think there are some things that some of the animals do. You couldn't train a real sheep to do that.
No.
Like when the lamb is kind of drawing...
Like solve crimes.
Yeah, there is that, yeah. But like when the lamb is drawing the paint on the prison floor or whatever it is, it's like, yeah, they probably couldn't get a sheep to do that.
No, of course.
A lamb at that.
Yes.
But yeah, it stopped mattering to me very quickly that they were CG.
Straight away, I didn't mind, There's no consistency with the sheeply accents. And I can hear the soda, like, it's talking sheep, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you care about the accents. Animals actually have regional dialects.
They do.
This has been proven.
Yeah.
If anything, this is an effort to the contrary. We have American, Irish, African-American, RP, Kiwi, and Cockney. With the humans, it's just going for like vague British bucolia. Mostly RP-ish, save for one West Country lass, for some reason. One is put in mind of Wallace and Gromit, though that's more geographically specific.
Yes.
Or wicked little letters. The village and prison in which Stephen Fry was jailed, and of course, you know, it's always talked about as, of course, he went there.
Yeah.
It's called Puckle Church.
Right.
And that could be the setting for the sheep detectives.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
Puckle
absolutely.
Church. Hong Chow and Nicholas Braun have pretty ropey accents.
Okay.
It's not all going to be about accents, but the second Nicholas Galitzine joint this episode.
The first chronologically, though, right?
This came out before Masters.
Yeah. And I didn't know it was him, like, between the...
Yeah. I saw it after Masters of the Universe, but yeah, perfectly fine, but still not a star yet to me. There is just something unavoidably funny about Patrick Stewart voicing a sheep. There just is. Bryan Cranston too. It's a similar character to his Isle of Dogs mutt, isn't it? Affirming he's part of no pack or herd.
Yeah. Another animal with black fur as well, right? Oh, no,
Yes.
he didn't. He was black because he was dirty.
He was dirty. Yeah, that's right.
It's fine, because that's the case. It's you know...
Yeah. Spent too much time in the sun. Bella Ramsey is somehow annoying here too. Emma Thompson always brings effortless charm and charisma. I didn't know Molly Gordon was in it.
No. Yeah.
She struck the perfect sweetness for a kid's film, I think. They'll love her when they're young and they'll fall in love with her when they get older, which is a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
It deals with some big themes, death namely. It's sweet, it's pleasant with moments that'll make kids teary, maybe the adults too. And one that might appropriately scare them, which...
Yeah, when the sheep go into a neighbouring field and there are different types... Funnily enough, the same sheep that Lisa's bought in Clarkson's Farm.
Yes.
The really fluffy sheep.
Yes, yeah.
With, like, the black faces. It looks like they're...
They've all got black faces, haven't they?
No, not the easy sheep that Clarkson has.
Okay.
They're just all white.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Whereas these ones, they look like they've been coloured in, because it's a very defined...
You're treading on... shaky.
How are you supposed to say anything in the world today?
And we arrive at the basic point. Yes.
But yeah, they've got bells on the sheep now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got...
No, they have fruit, don't they?
No, yeah, they've got bells around their necks, and it's all foggy and it's dark outside. And yeah, it is framed...
around their necks.
What?
Go on.
No, go on.
No, go on. It was a lynching joke, Jordan.
Well, you don't want that, do you?
No, I don't.
No. Why would you lynch a sheep? They're lovely looking.
Not a sheep, no. Alan Cumming.
Oh.
Oh,
right. Yeah, that is a scene that is framed like a horror sequence. It's not going to scare any adults.
No, it's like, I think Azkaban's a bit scarier, but it's that sort of level where you're a kid, it's like, ooh, you know.
Yeah, or Chamber of Secrets.
Or Chamber of Secrets.
Didn't Mark Kermode say that, like, he wished that there were horror films like that when he was a kid? Because he did think of Chamber of Secrets as a horror film.
Right.
It's just, it's not... It's a horror film that's acceptable for a child to watch.
Yes.
And it's similar with this. There are sequences in here like that sequence where that would probably scare a kid. But it's okay.
It's very hard to know, right?
Yeah.
Just not just because I'm not one, but I'm not around any. So I accept today.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, it gets its ovine money's worth. There's a good counting sheep joke. You know, a joke for the grown-ups, but in an appropriate fashion.
I can't tell you how relieved I was to see that they were making a counting sheep joke.
Yes.
And then they just made it.
Didn't explain it.
And they didn't explain it. They just moved on. They let the joke speak for itself.
Yeah, a chicken crosses the road. And with that kind of humour, it's... A joke for the adults usually means something a bit racy or like innuendo. And I like that a kid wouldn't get that joke. An adult would, but there's no controversy there. An adult doesn't have to explain something to a kid. That's, tricky. I'll give you an example of what might have been an inappropriate joke. Nicholas Braun, when he initially starts the investigation, he's like, right, means they had access to a yew tree. And I was like, oh God, are they going to show that this is Operation Yew Tree? But they didn't actually go there.
Okay.
It's better written than you might expect, with satisfying narrative and thematic circularity. When it wraps up, you feel like you've eaten exactly the right amount, I think. Yeah, that paid off, end. And it's an effective little thing.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I don't have particular affection for it.
Okay.
But it works, and it's effective, and I'd recommend it to anyone that wants to watch it.
Yeah, it's very bright, it's very breezy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there are moments where it kind of deals with heavier ideas. Like you said, this idea of death. And there's this kind of narrative conceit. I don't know if this is true of real sheep or not. I'm imagining not.
Right.
The sheep can choose to forget.
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's one sheep, the Chris O'Dowd sheep, who can't. There's like something wrong with him. He's cursed to remember things.
Yes, yeah. In that way, he's sort of like the sage or the village elder, isn't he?
Yeah.
He has the knowledge.
Yeah, cursed with knowledge. Whereas all of the other sheep, if something traumatic happens to them, they can just choose to forget it and they'll just carry on, blissfully unaware of.
Yes.
And then there's a point in the film where the Julia Louis-Dreyfus sheep, the main character, she's confronted with the harsh reality of what might happen to them all now that Hugh Jackman's gone. Mm-hmm. And she asks Chris O'Dowd, like, how many times have I forgotten this? And he's like, I've lost count.
Yes.
So
they think they become clouds when they, they kind of transcend.
And then they're shown that, that's very much not the case.
Yes. Yeah, that was an effective sequence.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, Bryan Cranston's sheep is killed.
Yes.
By the way, it ram, right? Yeah. And it was funny. I love dogs, as you know, but a ram ramming through dogs is just an inherently funny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she's like, I have to forget this. And he's like, but if you forget it, you won't remember all of the things that you need to do in order to finish the story.
Yeah, nice messages for kids to take away and take the good with the bad.
And then, of course, there's that very nice final shot where they look up into the sky and the clouds have formed the shape of a ram.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, Craig Mazin.
I think that's the thing. When that happened, I was like, oh, I feel perfectly full now. Like, I haven't eaten too much or too little. You got it exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would put this firmly in the camp of kids' films that will grow with their audience. I know that, like, I think we can appreciate it now, as in terms of like what it does well and everything. But I think a kid seeing this, I imagine, would enjoy it.
Yes.
And then as they get older, it grows with them.
I don't agree with that.
No,
I'm not saying the film doesn't grow with them. I think teenagers leave those things and then come back to them.
That's kind of what I mean.
When you're 13, 14. Oh, gay.
Yeah, it's not cool to like the sheep detectives.
Yeah. But yes, no, it will. You have a different relationship with it as you get older.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But when you come back to it, in the same way that you often come back to things you liked as a kid, some things like Thomas and the Magic Railroad with me.
See,
you go back to that and you're like,
you don't go that young. Like Toy Story, or Pixar, you end up when you're a teenager thinking, oh, that's like the kids.
Yeah.
And then realizing, no, it's actually great filmmaking. You don't go back to Thomas the Tank Engine, okay? That's not something you do. It's like, oh yeah, like when you stop wanting to be cool all the time and you start watching Teletubbies again.
But no, this is what. Yeah, I think this is when those kids are older, they'll come back to the Sheep Detectives and be like, oh, this is actually like
that was actually good.
Yeah,
yeah.
This like holds up.
Yes,
and so that makes it a good thing for me.
I definitely agree. It's 100% a good thing.
Yeah,
yeah. It's good.
Well done, Craig Mazin.
Well done.
Yeah.
Hokum.
Gador. What was that thing in the trailer?
What, the Hokum trailer?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Hokum
trailer. You haven't seen it? Oh, yeah, you don't watch trailers, do you?
I don't.
Yeah. It's the bit when he goes into the hotel and like the creepy old guy's talking to the kids and he's like, Hador.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Good, whatever the Irish people would.
A goat. It was a fearsome goat. You fuck one goat.
Adam Scott plays Bauman. It's a weird name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A writer and another 6-letter word beginning with W and ending in ER, who travels to a hotel in Ireland that many locals claim... What?
Winning. He's a winner.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
Not if you watch the film, he's not. Travels to a hotel in Ireland that many locals claim is haunted by a witch. Mm. Personally, I think the only witch you should concern yourself with is which foot you start running the fuck out of there with.
Right.
But hey-ho, this is a horror movie, and so deeper into the haunted hotel we fucking go, I guess.
Hey Hokum, written and directed by Damien McCarthy.
What's that?
An Irish filmmaker, responsible for Caveat and Oddity. I've seen both, but all these indie prestige horror films tend to get jumbled up after a while.
Okay.
This won't, though, I will say.
Okay.
The visuals are crisp with that Flanagan lighting. The atmosphere is unsettling, spiky with the odd creepy witch sound, and it is a creepy witch sound. The imagery is striking, a dead girl in a rabbit costume and a dumbwaiter. This film's version of the underworld. It uses visual storytelling to establish character history in seconds. Like Om carefully spreads his mother's ashes, then flings his father's unceremoniously.
Yes.
Right, I know everything I need to know about his relationship there. Scott is something of a subversion of the typical horror protagonist. Usually these visitors entering strange new worlds are deferential, and the most important thing is to avoid awkwardness, right?
Yeah.
That's what gives those type of films the anxiety early on. They don't want to say the wrong thing. But Scott is a rude, combative prick from the jump.
Yeah. He's like burning people and shit.
Yeah, flatly refuses to sign a fan's book and being outright insulting, right? It's a risky strategy. This isn't a slasher film where we can delight in the gory dispatch of a vacuous fool.
Yeah.
But his cynicism and lazily out-of-joint demeanour soon makes sense. You get why he is the way he is. Though personally, I never grew to like him. And that was okay. It's not a, what's that, MTV? They had an award, scared as shit performance. That's
right.
Scared as shit. It's not a scared as shit performance. He seems more perturbed than terrified.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's sort of, kind of nonplussed reaction.
Well, it's because, a bit of a spoiler, the sort of first act turn is that you find out he's gone to this hotel to kill himself.
Yeah.
And is found and is... So I guess it makes sense that he isn't particularly... Not unfazed, but like, I wanted to die anyway. Like, so... And yeah, it doesn't appear to be remotely traumatized in the immediate aftermath. Maybe he's just a real man. I don't know. But I like that it doesn't end with a total 180. Like, he's still kind of an asshole at the end.
Yeah.
But there is that kind of final shot that, his worldview has improved a little bit. I like David Wilmot. I kind of like him. He's the guy that camps outside and...
All right.
You know, that guy.
Yeah.
After a certain point, the film unfolds with the mechanics of an escape room puzzle. I could see this being an indie horror game.
Okay.
Especially with that disturbing American kids show that plays intermittently. Like, that's the manner of periodic exposition you'd get. You know, like Condemned, where you've got to tune the TVs. And, yeah. There is much anticipatory horror, and it's genuinely freaky when the witch is pursuing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is like, I watched this in like broad daylight, basically, during this heat wave that we've alluded to before. So it was grumpy and not very happy. But yeah, it was this bright room. I was watching this horror film, dark film. Like, I was able to see the film, but obviously dark film and everything. And it still got me to that place where I was like, don't like it. Don't want to be here.
Yeah, and she kind of pursues him, and there's like he draws a ring of salt right around the bed. After which he manages to fall asleep. Good on him.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What the fuck your man is that?
Yeah, they wanted to make him less relatable, apparently.
I know, yeah. The premise of a room one mayn't enter, or certainly daren't, in a haunted hotel leads one instantly to The Shining, of course. But it's a surface similarity. The mood and aesthetic here are very different. It also reminded me of Ghost, weirdly enough, in the intersection of crime and human evil, which a murderer trying to cover his tracks, basically, and the supernatural, punctuated with the ultimate punishment of being literally dragged to hell.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I liked it quite a lot, I would say. Yeah. I haven't seen Obsession in Backrooms, and it's being kind of... I can't say twinned because it's two, but it's being paired. No, I can't say paired because that's two. It's being put together with those two films, like a trilogy of indie horror that came out close together.
Yeah,
and film people tend to instantly gravitate towards ranking them. I haven't seen the other two yet.
So this is a ranking of one. It would seem.
A ranking of one, and which it is the best.
Okay,
it's also the worst. But I'll focus on the fact that it's
also the one in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I guess broadly recommended as well. It's an interesting direction to take the protagonist in.
Yes.
And I think, as you say, when a sort of realization sets in as to why he's gone to that hotel, and that carries you into the next act of the film, that is very like, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that. Where the hell is this going from here?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to apologise, because I just sneezed, which we've obviously edited out. But I think I accidentally sneezed out whatever points I was about to make.
Yeah. Well, have a look in the tissue.
I don't think it's in there.
No.
Yeah, so I don't know what point I was leading to. I guess...
open the tissue. Just a snort spelling out the mood.
Well, I mean, the film definitely has a mood to it, doesn't it? Just the way it starts as well, like following those characters in the desert.
Yeah.
Or like...
What's this?
Why? Yes. What's going on? But I think that's a very good way of showing the characters' growth, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because he's on his own...
Bookends.
Yeah, both ends of the film.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of, he's a writer, so through his writing, you see the change in his outlook.
Yes.
Yeah, no, broadly, I guess it is a recommendation.
Okay. Michael.
What is that? Michael?
Are you doing Cockney?
No, it's like someone calling...
Yeah, but you're doing it you're not doing it in your voice, you're doing it...
Yeah, I feel like they go, oh, at the end. Michael.
So like Marco.
Is it Gavin and Stacey?
Michael, like that. Michael.
Yeah.
Well, she says Mick usually, doesn't she? Mick,
yeah.
But I'm sure she does go, Marco, yeah.
Okay.
Sure, let's say Gavin and Stacey.
Okay. This is the musical biopic of the Michael Jackson, a child molest star, apparently.
Oh, come on now.
Who grew up into arguably the most famous, most profitable... most profitable...
Okay.
And most whitest black pop star of all time. The film charts that rise, concluding with the Bad World Tour in the 90s, with on-screen text saying, his story continues.
Yes.
You know, to the bit that we all came to see, I imagine.
He has an album called His Story, doesn't he?
What does he?
His Tory kind of thing. Yeah. His Tory.
His
my Conservative MP. Yeah, we're late to this one, aren't we? We're very late to Michael. It did quite well financially.
Yeah.
So yeah, its VOD release wasn't hasty.
No. One of the sort of biggest divides between critics and audience of the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think when the year ends, it'll probably stand as the most divisive.
Okay.
Yeah. This is exactly what you think it will be, which is Biopic 101.
Yeah.
Directed by Antoine Fuqua, Training Day, The Equalizers. Written by big movie veteran John Logan, Gladiator, The Aviator, Skyfall. This comes to us after a mire of development and production problems, with a cool budget of $200 million. Originally a 4-hour epic, cut down to 2. The end result of all that doesn't feel like a total mess. It feels deeply incomplete, right? A superficial, wiggy, greatest hits reel, bouncing from scene to scene. It boasts a 97% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, last I looked, against the critics' 30-something. It's the Mamma Mia of its kind. For the crowd. Broad, unnuanced sweeps. It falls right in line with the likes of Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis, ticking off those same old genre boxes. The Mean Father, the shot of the producer in the recording booth beholding brilliance, which I hate that trope. Its drastically trimmed runtime means that milestones or iconic elements are afforded a minute of screen time, maybe. A minute for his nose job and the vitiligo, they get 2 in 1 there. A minute for CG Bubbles, the chimp, to show up, who apparently smiled and hugged Jackson as soon as they met, which is treated as a light-hearted, head-shaking, that eccentric scamp moment, not, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's a chimp.
I don't know, there's something about the way that they portray Michael Jackson in this. He doesn't seem like... I don't know, I don't trust him, you know?
Well, it's a very... hagiographic. It's a film that has a very high opinion of him.
Well, but just this idea that, like, oh, I'm sort of too special for people. So it's like, I'm friends with my toys and my chimp.
Well, yeah, I'm like, it's. I think it's these too special for people. He's just like, can't connect to them because he's so... His mother says to him, like, you have a lad, you know, and that's more him than his mother. So, you have a lad. You're going to send that motherfucker.
Yeah, you have a lad, Michael.
Yeah. And then, when he's always like, I have a lad I gotta share with the world. And so, okay. I mean, by all accounts, as far as I know, that's kind of him.
Okay.
But I mean, you can't blame the guy for being screwed up in certain ways. But, and after the bubble step, the next, I'll say scene, but it's not a film that really has scenes in the traditional sense, has him reading to Bubbles from Peter Pan, which causes him to reflect, with some sad music behind him. The tone is one of undiluted adulation, not... You're unhinged, brother.
Yes. Yeah.
We shortly see a giraffe has been casually added to his estate. You don't have to lean the way of crazy. Just show it nakedly. Let us come to our own conclusions. But this is adoring, sanitized, mainstream guff.
Yeah.
Right?
But just the The father's reaction kind of baffled me as well.
Yeah, it was meant to be the kind of antagonist.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into him, like, proper. But yeah, the father is supposed to be... That's kind of like the thrust of the film, if indeed there is one, right? It's this sort of battle that Michael has with his father, where his father is constantly pushing him to, like, no, you are mine. You are an asset that I'm using.
Yes.
Like, I guess it's ultimately because he believes in him, but also there's this component of, like, oh, I see your talent. I can use that. Yeah. And obviously, as a child, he's powerless against that. But then, as he kind of starts on his solo career, and people start to recognize his virtues, and he accrues more power and fame, he has more ability to kind of push the father to the wayside. But yeah, this father that's supposed to be like, no, I don't care that you're tired. We're rehearsing even longer.
A tyrant, this kind of force of nature. Yeah.
And you will go on a world tour with your brothers because they need to share your fame too. But when Michael brings the chimp and the giraffe onto the estate, he's just like, Michael.
Yeah, he's the one that breaks the kind of moment, isn't it? Because everyone's just kind of looking, and he's like, that boy, you know.
Yeah.
Like, right. Yeah, weird.
What are you? Yeah.
The main story around this film is all references to the allegations were removed after a clause was discovered in the settlement with one of his accusers, forbidding any mention of the kid in anything that's ever made, right?
Right.
I don't know why or how that derailed the whole subject.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs of all that. Now, restriction can be generative. We always say this.
Yeah.
Not here. We just know too much about the guy and his life and his family that the absences are conspicuous. Some of his siblings aren't at all, like Janet Jackson's not featured at all in it. Whenever a character says something like, when you were born, I knew you were different, or you're not like your siblings, or scenes involve him visiting kids in a hospital, your mind unavoidably wanders.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not even a firm believer that he's guilty. I think it perfectly plausible that he's innocent. But that's an undeniable, definitional part of his legacy. Fucking tragic if it's untrue, right? But it's what everyone thinks of. If you were a kid growing up in the noughties, he was one of the most common targets for jokes, the go-to Michael Jackson jokes. Capping the narrative in the late 80s is a nifty way to avoid the issue altogether. But I remember seeing a trailer for Michael in the cinema, and it just feeling like this massive elephant in the room, which he probably had, to be fair. The trailer had this joyous timbre, and you kept waiting for the gravity, such as the common structure of the trailer, right? Like, it was all going well, and then the most fascinating act, the last, has been excised, like an O.J. Simpson biopic. O.J., footballer, actor. I concede. Which a biopic doesn't necessarily have to cover everything, okay? Although he did die at 50, it's not the longest life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll concede he had an eventful life. But Capote, for instance, is just his writing of In Cold Blood. But that concentrated window encapsulates the man, at least the film's idea of him, the impression of a life, which we talk about as well. The way this film is edited, a conveyor belt of stuff, it instills a sense of propulsion that demands to be seen through to the end.
Yeah.
Like, if we're getting through it this quickly, I've got to see it up to his death, you know? But it doesn't. So, if they couldn't be comprehensive, I would have advised going a lot further the other way than they did. I don't know which isolated chapter of Jackson's life is ideal, but for instance, the making of Thriller. Channel everything through, like Steve Jobs, right? Or where you pick like 3 distinct events or whatever, and tell everything you want around that. Because it's either, I guess it is either a 4-hour epic, or you pick one very precise time.
Yeah, and you use that as a vertical slice of, you sort of infer the life around that.
Yeah, he's filming Thriller, and he's like, they cut or whatever, and his assistant's like, oh, Michael, your dad called. Great, now we're going to explore the relationship with the dad. Besides the allegations, the most glaring omission for me is any meaningful context as to why he remained a child into adulthood. You know, toys, games, chimps. I don't imagine it's that complicated. He was robbed of a normal youth. But like, give us something. Some insight. We're just left with a weird protagonist with whom it's difficult to connect, who says that he has to shine his light onto the world, to whom people say things like, there's no one like you and never will be. And there's nobody else in the ensemble to connect with either. You know, who are we in this film?
Yeah.
His mum, maybe? However he was forged and whatever he was in his totality, he was a talented mother, that Jackson. He really was. Jafar Jackson does a decent impression of his uncle, but they do employ the original recordings of Jackson's songs. which is a big no for me with musical biopics. They frequently isolate the vocals too to flaunt just how good his voice was. A bit hagiographic, like I said, but yeah, the dude could sing. Most impressive is the fact that he couldn't read or write music. So he wrote or co-wrote his songs by scatting the percussion into a tape recorder, humming the bass line, etc., and then layering it all. And he was a choreographer. The film does, however, push the idea that he was solely responsible for every iota of his output.
Yeah.
Down to dictating the framing for the Thriller video. You know? Spread the love a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's frustrating because the film spends most of the characters in the film, and the film itself seems to spend most of its time going, God, Michael, you're just so fucking good, aren't you? It's like what he needed to be. It's like he didn't know it.
Right.
Like it had to be confirmed for him.
Yes.
Over and over and over. Even after he knew, even after he'd acquired that fame, people still had to keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so magical and you're so special. But also the film seems to like a lot of what you were just saying there about him not being able to read and write music, so he scattered into the microphone and everything. Like I didn't really pick up on that in the film because it's moving so quickly. It's like, okay, so Michael, he manages to start a solo career and he sends the guy to fire his dad, and then he writes Thriller. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's very, massive.
Yeah.
It's very possible. The fact that he couldn't read or write music is something I learned outside of the film.
Yeah.
And so it gave context to the scene where he is into like the microphone. I don't even know if they do say that. But why would they? That's something that goes against him. That he couldn't read or write music. It's actually not. It actually makes it more impressive.
Yeah, absolutely,
but yeah. There isn't a strong thematic through line. If anything, it's like the relationship with the father. But PSA, keep kids away from celebrity. Right? It turns you up and spits you out. Look no further than Michael Jackson. When he finally stands up to Joe, there is no real catharsis. The film just ends right after. It gets in most of the big hits. It shows screaming girls in the audience gushing with love for him.
Yeah.
I guess I can understand him as a sex symbol back in the 80s anyway. But he weren't no Elvis. I would have assumed girls would have thought he was gay. But then they didn't twig it with Liberace.
Yeah.
So I think people have changed.
Or Mercury? Did we know
I don't think so. Certainly not at the beginning. But he's not quite, Liberace.
Yeah.
They're developing a sequel. Indulgence for one, but money. I don't know how they're going to be able to deal with the allegations. Like, what's changed?
Yeah.
And I will say, if the rest of the original film was anything like its preceding acts, because they filmed that stuff, and the sequel is the same, and why wouldn't it be? Depicting the allegations is going to be pointless anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing interesting can come of it. The other major issue, as I see it, the good music years have been covered. Like,
yes.
There's one or two they didn't include, but the sequel is just going to be all You Are Not Alone's and Earth songs. Like, the good stuff is done.
Yeah. Sort of a Wicked problem where Defying Gravity ends the first film, and so what have we got left?
Nothing tops that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it.
No.
It's just, I didn't really see the point of it. Like, I don't really feel like I know Michael Jackson better having watched it. I don't feel like I've learned anything.
So you're saying having watched it, it didn't prove a point. But it's not that you don't see the point of a Michael Jackson biopic.
I don't see the point of this Michael Jackson biopic.
Because of course, at some point there was going to be a Michael Jackson biopic.
No, of course
there was.
Absolutely.
But equally, then how are they going to do all that stuff? And it turns out they just don't.
I mean, that's the thing you have to negotiate day one, right? When you're sitting down.
Yeah, are we going to do that?
Yeah.
And how? We need to figure out how we're going to treat all that.
Yeah.
Because there's one shot in the film, isn't there, that, to me, had the redolence of an artifact.
I know the one you're on about, yeah.
Yeah, it's when he's visiting a kid in the hospital and he's reading next to him, and his driver, who's a weirdly prevalent figure in the film, I don't know if he was in his life, hired by Joe, who then's like, I have my allegiance to Michael. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because Michael's so, he's like a star command. Yeah. But Michael's reading, and this guy's looking at, like, through the window at him with what looks like kind of bubbling concern. Bubbles in concern. You could read that as something else, if you like, but it's a weird thing to be in there. And I read that as, it was prefiguring it was planting the seeds of all those allegations that would come. I don't know whether, like, the driver in real life ended up, like, testifying against Jackson, or if he...
Yeah.
But that seemed to be a moment where they were going, a moment of portent.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. I don't know why they just... It's not like it was hard to take out that one little shot. And I'm not surprised it's popular either, because people like the music.
Okay.
And the film does that. And it's just kind of a crowd pleaser. It aims to be a crowd... Like, yeah, it doesn't want to be controversial. It's got all those greatest biopic hits things, like The Mean Father and, God, wasn't his life terrible? And all that. I know, like, my dad would like it. I know he would. He likes Michael Jackson. He's going to like the film.
I've seen people say online that this is a film for people that go to the cinema like twice a year.
I would say so.
It does kind of feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an event movie. It's like a proper event, like Avatar or something. It does have that ring about it. But we talked before about how, like, obviously the Beatles were massive, but whenever anyone thinks of the 60s, it's Flower Power and Bob Dylan and all that. Whereas in reality, the most popular artists were like still gospel and country artists.
Yes, yeah.
But they weren't cool. You know, Rolling Stone didn't write about them. They weren't the pop culture icons in that sense, because they were just catering to the masses. Most people liked them. And I think Michael is one of those films. It's not cool. It's not a cool film. It's not going to be recognised at award ceremonies, probably. But it's done really, really well financially. It will end up being one of the highest grossing films of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's rubbish.
Yeah, I got absolutely nothing.
No, nothing
out of
at all.
it. I was really surprised.
It's just more not like Nirvana, because that's actually good, but more fascinating object than it was. And like, oh, I want to see how they get around.
Yeah, and
like
then
they just stopped it before.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I was really surprised when they brought race into it. Like, I don't know if Michael Jackson was ever... whether that was ever a part of his story. I know. Well, that's the thing. The funny thing about Michael Jackson is that, his skin condition or whatever it was made him appear whiter as he got older.
Yeah.
And so I guess if you sort of came to Michael Jackson late in his career, then perhaps it was a surprise when you go back and you're like, oh, it's a black kid.
Right.
But yeah, they have that scene. Was it like the head of the record label? Yeah. They're saying to him, you need to put the Thriller
Mike Myers, right?
Is it?
I think it's Mike Myers.
Oh, right, okay. You need to put the Thriller music video on MTV, and he's like, I can't do it, guys.
He's a Negro.
Well, not even that. It's just like, I know that, but I've tried. Yeah. Like, they will not put a black artist on the TV. Get off the TV!
Yeah.
And then they're just like, we'll try harder. And then he goes, okay.
All right.
And then he rings them up, and he gets Michael Jackson on the TV. It's like, no,
I think there's probably an element of myth making there.
Yeah.
Right. I just kind of like, it didn't go down like
what,
that.
You think this guy hasn't tried?
I also think
think that a record label that realised the talent they were sitting on wouldn't try it? Yeah. That guy would be like, I will be the first like record label guy, CEO man to have a black artist on TV. Yeah, I will be making history.
It might well have been like he was the first black artist on MTV. It's true. I don't know whether that was because there was a bias toward black artists, even when the country at its most racist, that's what they were good for. You know, they would go to clubs where black musicians played and sang. So popular music comes from black music. So I don't know, but it wasn't the 60s. It was the mid 80s or like early 80s. So that's kind of a weird thing.
Down on all the
it was cool. It was kind of black wasn't. Yeah, it was pretty cool actually. Black culture was in the 80s. But sure, I had to start somewhere. Equally though, I think a record label executive, if they really believed in the talent of they wouldn't need pushing to call up someone and go, yeah, listen, I'm fucking killing your kids if you don't put Michael Jackson on. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That is their job. So no, just a waste. Not a waste.
Absolutely.
Disclosure Day.
New Steven Spielberg alien movie. I repeat, new Steven Spielberg alien movie. Mm-hmm. And also the second Steven Spielberg D-Day movie. Which of course is... I'll let you have credit for that. Okay. I'll say that was you.
All right, yeah, I did.
Yeah. You were very proud of it. So I saw your face when you were like...
I was happy not to take credit though.
Yeah, you say that.
I honest to God would... This is a mutual effort.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
I wouldn't... You didn't have an intro, so I gave you one.
Oh, right, see. So I compliment you, you sell me out.
No, so I'm not like... I'm not so vain to give it to you and then instantly go... By the way, that was mine. Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you say things on this podcast, the exact points I made to you phrased exactly the same way, and I don't criticise it.
When?
I don't even know. I forget, because I'm that charitable, all right?
Okay.
No, it's fine. Disclosure day. Yeah, so what is the actual plot?
Okay, so Emily Blunt is not the person we start with. but maybe I think it's cleaner if you start with her. She's like a local newsreader.
Don't do the real-time breakdown of how you're going to structure your
it's all I got.
Summary.
Because I hadn't prepared it, so it's all I've got.
Oh, okay.
She's a newsreader, weather person. Yes, she wants to become a newsreader. Yes, but she's a weather person.
A meteorologist.
She is a mere weather person.
Yeah, a meteorologist.
Yes, for a local news station. And one day, extraordinary powers are awoken within her that allow her to communicate in any language and sort of instantly understand the person that she's communicating with, telepathy and all that kind of stuff. She is put on a path to join forces with Josh O'Connor, who's currently on the run from a shadowy organisation that are trying to stop him from disclosing all of this confidential information that he has stolen from them.
Yes.
About something that the film is initially vague about, but the cat's out of the bag now.
Yes.
Aliens.
Yes.
And so him and Emily Blunt, they band together and they go on the run and they try to bring about the titular disclosure day. Yeah.
Okay. Firstly, a separate but adjacent point. Before the film, we went to see this in the cinema.
Yes.
There was an interminable football advert.
Oh, we're going to mention it.
Yeah. Okay. That employed Colin Stetson's Reborn from the Hereditary soundtrack, which truly knocked my plumage or whatever. And it occurred to me, right? All this talk of cultural appropriation, that's not the problem. The problem is cultural misappropriation.
Okay.
That's actually the problem people are talking about. It's not... Well, I know a lot of it's just the fact you used any kind of beat that was vaguely Afro-Brazilian or whatever.
Right.
No, the problem is you want your culture appropriated justly and nicely, not misappropriated. And I think we need to start spreading that meme.
Okay.
No, it's cultural misappropriation you have a problem with. Anyway,
the problem you have here being that why is a football advert
the Hereditary score is not for football, okay? All right? Yeah, the film. It was a curious opening, a wrestling match.
Yeah. Yeah, top marks for anyone who guessed what the opening shot of the film was going to be.
Exactly, the opening shot was a boot slamming down on someone's head.
Yeah.
We discussed its meaning afterwards, didn't we? I think the backdrop of the plot is kind of the looming threat of World War III. It's this thing happening around the fringes of the story.
Yeah.
And I think the match, surrounded by the odd red-capped enthusiast, was a nod to the current commander-in-chief, one of the agents of all this chaos, I'm sure. Much discussed has been the overlap of Trump and the performativity of wrestling, with which he's been directly involved.
Yeah,
of course.
Hasn't he been world champion at some point?
That's right. Yeah, I've seen the guy wrestling. You know, whatever, kayfabe and all that business. That's the closest the film comes to being political. It's above that. Yeah. Otherwise, Josh O'Connor is good. We know this now. Emily Blunt is the standout. That first studio scene, a showcase for her. You know, she's going around like the Korean guy, and then there's kind of a one shot.
Yeah, sort of speaking to someone in a different language, and then going up to someone and being like, "You need to go to the police.
Tell your sister to leave." Yeah. She's pretty. Eve Hewson is also impressive, reuniting with Spielberg after her small part in Bridge of Spies. She's pretty.
Yeah.
Colin Firth, I'm not going to do it with you. Colin Firth and Coleman Domingo round out the cast nicely. Their conversation was a high point for me.
Okay.
You know, it was like, no, trust me. Basically about the nature of humanity, can they take this and should we and all that. There are a few decent action sequences, zips along with lens flare and the seamless filmmaking you'd expect from Steven Spielberg, sometimes deceptively so. There are technically complicated shots in there that you don't really, in cars usually, that would go through windows stuff. But that's the thing with the unfortunately initialed SS. It ain't about him. Yeah. Right? It's not about drawing attention to himself. 94-year-old John Williams provides a nicely subtle score. It couldn't have been anyone else, right?
Yeah,
You've got to get John Williams for this. The CG animals, also CG animals here, were initially a little disheartening, but the way they're employed later on made it forgivable. Again, don't start real and then go CG.
Yeah.
For the things you need them for, I suppose they always have to be CG.
Perhaps, but you could tell.
Oh, of course. I mean, you can tell in the Sheep Detectives, can't you? I did enjoy the detail that extraterrestrials appear as animals to pacify us. A little girl waking up in her bedroom to an elk. I know it would soothe me. You know?
Yeah, maybe not, a fucking elk.
Yeah.
I think any kid would be like, what?
A butterfly maybe, or a nice doggy, you know.
Oh, a puppy. An elk.
A reindeer.
Yeah.
I definitely understand the Close Encounters comparisons people have made, that this serves as a spiritual successor, an answer kind of thing. while the timing doesn't work out literally, there's something to the idea of the little kid in Close Encounters grown up, you know? Blunt and O'Connor, the adult abductees that have to unlock those memories. It's a humanistic, optimistic appeal to empathy. Nobody dies. The baddie comes around. Moreover, it's a finale that eschews gunshots or explosions for pure kind of awe. For a film being described as a full stop on Spielberg's cinematic relationship with aliens, I spent much of the runtime wondering about the final shot, the final moment. And it's good, and one we needn't spoil, I don't think.
No, but the conversation around it has been interesting, hasn't it?
Has it?
Yes. Oh, you're not aware of the conversation around... Oh, interesting. Well, make your points, we'll come to it.
Okay. Incidentally, the main newsreader at the end, the one on the affiliate station or whatever, was a real newsreader.
Yes.
She is now quit to pursue acting.
She has.
I personally found the ending powerful. I got quite emotional in the cinema. I was like, yeah, that's working for me. I've generally been of the opinion that disclosure would not stop the world in its tracks. It wouldn't be a case of everyone across the planet looking at their phones in stunned silence. I think the algorithm has fragmented us so, and it's imbued things with an insubstance. For instance, I found weeks after the fact that the Iranian president had been killed, right?
Oh, right, okay.
That didn't happen with Saddam Hussein, you know?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I allow this is an ultimately hopeful film about our species, so it's not like it broke credulity. And I will say the recent revelations regarding UAPs, like those Navy videos, they're fascinating to me, but I understand why they might not be definitive enough to capture everyone's attention. As for what's shown in the final act of Disclosure Day, that might well be enough to stop the clocks. You know what I mean? Like the actual alien coming out, and a lot of people would doubt its veracity.
But this is the thing, we're living in the age of like AI now, aren't we?
Yes, it is, and there's no going around that in the real... like, you couldn't make anything with any power that's on a screen. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that you could make a film about that itself, and like the capture of the show is kind of about that.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of ignoring that because the film is basically, it's being optimistic about humans, and you can say that's naive, but that's the take he's going for.
Yeah.
It's going for the Colin Firth can be reasoned with, that you remind him of his wife and he comes around and fine. Like, that's the kind of film it is. That's the universe it inhabits. It's not the real world.
Yeah.
So I was fine with that. I also get why some people have opined that the film exists to soften the landing, so to speak. If the government had to reach out to a filmmaker for this, who else but Spielberg?
Yes, yeah.
A few years ago, some noted public intellectuals began receiving emails essentially saying, can you start laying the groundwork for a conversation about this stuff? One of the most convincing arguments for the preparing us theory is, we have a friend and listener, I said it, Matthew, I mentioned him earlier,
yeah.
Hey, with whom we've had conversations about whether the confirmation of otherworldly life would destabilise religion, Catholicism in particular. I've always maintained that the church would adapt and contrive as it always has. Disclosure Day offers a real-time example of that.
Yeah, that nun is remarkably chill about the idea of...
Well, it's like she's tuned into the universe, right? Eve Hewson, who was a former novitiate, asks her Mother Superior, wouldn't it contradict the whole man as God's supreme creation thing? And the nun says, God's supreme creation on earth.
Right.
There you go. There's your rationale happening in real time, you know?
Yeah.
I like that it aspires to those deeper conversations, even as it functions as popcorn. But it is basic, which is okay. It's for the mainstream. Cinema has seldom dealt with religion with great complexity, in my opinion. But the fact it goes there at all, I would say it supports that theory. Like, it's an olive branch to the faithful. Like, when this happens, there's a place for you still. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I liked it much more than I thought I would. And I would recommend it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to jump back to when
Yes.
we were talking about the reaction to the final scene, the world's reaction in the film to the final scene. Where, yeah, everyone is watching on their phones in awe, and it's being passed around all of the news stations, and people are like, but we won't have exclusivity. And they're like, oh, it's too important for that.
Right.
The world must know.
Yes.
The Disclosure Day must happen.
Yes.
And then the final moment, I won't spoil it either.
Yeah.
But I know when I was watching it, you seemed happy to hand yourself over to the optimism that the film wanted to kind of portray. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there going like, yeah, I know what it's doing, but I'm just thinking about like, the AI thing was sort of in the back of my mind. It's like, well, I think a lot of people just would be skeptical instantly as to what they're seeing. Like it's some weird, like hoax or whatever. And we have the tools to achieve that more realistically now because of AI. Also just the geopolitical, like, implications of it. Like Russia, China, North Korea, they would all outright deny it. Like, oh, this is American propaganda, while secretly racing to be the first nation to make contact with the aliens.
Yes.
And to sort of position themselves as, oh, we're the leaders of the world. You answer to us now. Mm-hmm. And there's something interesting in that, and I would like to see someone deal with that. I acknowledge that that's perhaps not something that Disclosure Day was interested in, because as you say, it would have taken it away from the optimism. And an ending that's sort of, again, I'm really trying not to spoil it, but an ending that feels...
Well, if we want to say spoiler alert, then fine, if you want to talk about it.
Okay, but I will still try and not give too much away.
Okay.
It's not so much... It's an ending where it positions itself as like, the fact that this is even happening is what's important.
Right.
The content of what's... Because it stops itself, doesn't it? Like the character says, like, right, listen, I'm now going to tell you.
Right.
I guess I am spoiling it because you're looking at me confused.
Well, no, only because the last word is listen. There's nothing after that.
Well, that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Is that, I imagine a lot of people, and I have seen this online, and we'll use this to transition into that conversation. A lot of people
I fucking hate people, I swear to God.
People are like, I've waited the whole film for this, and they've just cut it off before they even say what the thing said to them.
And you agree with this, don't you? Because you don't like this film, I can tell.
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not saying I don't like it at all. I'm just saying that was what I was thinking during the ending.
Right.
Is that I don't know if this would play out, even though I'm
talking about do you agree that I want to hear what it has to say.
No, I agree that, like, I acknowledge that what the ending is saying is, no, the fact that you listen is important.
Right.
What's being said is not important. The fact that we're all putting ourselves in a position where we're ready to listen.
Yes.
That's what's important.
Yes.
And that ties into what you were saying about perhaps behind the scenes, this film is supposed to, like, soften the landing a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting people ready to listen. And so the fact that the final line of the film is listen.
Yes.
It's almost on the nose.
It's perfect.
If that's what it's for.
It's the correct ending for this film.
Yeah.
It's just listen. Yeah.
But it seems like people of a certain generation, perhaps ours and the generation below, not everyone in our generation, but like generation below in particular, hate this film.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been, there's a awards thing, Astra it's called, coming up, where Disclosure Day's been nominated for Best Film and Emily Blunt is up. And people have liked her, but all the comments are like, how is Disclosure Day even in this group of...
Yeah. I've seen comments along the lines of, if M. Night Shyamalan made exactly the same film, you would all think it's a pile of shit.
Bullshit.
You are just treating it differently because it's Spielberg.
Bullshit.
I've seen people saying it's one of the worst screenplays of the year.
Bullshit.
I've seen people saying it's one of the worst films of the year.
Bullshit.
I've seen people saying that it's an ugly film.
Bullshit.
And like it's actually ridiculous that Spielberg has let himself make something that's like as dreadful as this. And I just find that fascinating because we were talking, like the last review that we did was Michael, where it seems like there's a massive divide between critics and audience. But it seems like most audience and most critics are sort of in the same camp.
With Disclosure Day?
No, with Michael.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, what do you mean?
Well, it seems like most critics are sort of of the opinion that, like, yeah, it's not great. Like, they're probably outliers, but...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
The voice of the critics... mostly in unison.
Yes.
Voice of the audience seem mostly in unison.
Right.
This is the, like, different. This is
everything's divided.
Yeah. Like, the audience response. You got people that are like, what you're saying is that you liked it more than you thought, and you appreciate the optimism.
I lie about that. It's 80% critics. So more critics. It's not split like 50-50.
Okay.
But audience, yes, it is 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got people saying that, where it's just like worst of the year material.
Genre.
And it seems to be a generational gap.
So all the stuff that it's terrible, this is like, have they said why?
I think there's an element of... I know that there's a pitch meeting video on this.
Right.
You remember pitch meeting, don't you? And he just like trashes the script, basically. Okay. It's like, oh, look at all these weird inconsistencies and all this shit that doesn't make sense. I think it's just people... This is my theory. People just not, like, for lack of a better word, falling for the optimism of it. They're not willing to meet the film on its level of optimism.
Yeah,
and so they are picking at its bones.
Everything you said about, people would fight, geopolitically and AI and all that kind of thing, totally agree with you in the real world.
Yeah.
It's a Spielberg film.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm not there for like a dense geopolitical wire like unpacking of... I'm up for that show.
Yeah.
I'm going to see a Steven Spielberg film. I want a nice, you know, well-told story, some good action, a nice message, you know. I mean, the man has made Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. It's not like he can't go dark.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like that kind of stuff. I think some of the stuff I say, like, oh, he's cynical. I'm really not. This fucking generation, just everything, nothing's good enough. Especially when it comes to genre. Genre's so hard because, like, oh, that doesn't make sense. The aliens are blah, blah. Oh, my God. Just like it or don't. Nitpicking every fucking thing. I mean, I'll say, I think it's one of the best films of the year so far.
Okay.
Not like, it's not amazing. I will say the second time I watched it wasn't as good as the first.
Okay.
It did have more impact the first. But I'd seen it. I knew where it was building to. I knew, you know. I still like it a lot. I mean, I suppose I'd have to know what they were complaining about to know how to rebut it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the whole, like, oh, it's not politically accurate. It's like, it's a popcorn movie. Just live with it.
Yeah.
There are some inconsistencies in the script. Plot, like, how to get in touch with them and that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely, there are things. But it's a film that basically literally says empathy is the greatest evolutionary tool.
Yeah.
And it's being put down a lot. The irony of, I'm not saying, like, because the film says that you have to like it, but the irony that the people who hate it seem to lack a kind of empathy. They're the same people that lack an empathy, not with the film, but about each other. And, you know, that side is fucking Nazis, or that side is,
right,
you know, woke faggots or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I find it dispiriting, honestly. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm with the critics.
Okay.
I'm with the 80%.
Yeah, I guess it's just I found it fascinating that it did seem to be a generational divide. It seemed like people below a certain age far more likely to hate this film.
Yeah.
Not just dislike it, but think it's awful.
Yeah, yeah. But also, you got to remember, the generations above grew up in a world where we all could be united by, like, news footage.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was, when I was watching it, I even said myself, like, I don't think the world would stop in its tracks. That's not the way the world works. Yeah. But I'm up for a film where there's something that does that to people.
I think that was, like, one of the points made in the pitch meeting video. It's like, she decides to use the most trustworthy source out there, a local news station.
Right. Okay. It's a throwback, no doubt. Yeah. In loads of, it is a throwback, but it's Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I have a defensiveness about the film. I do. Because it's kind of like,
shows I'm trying that you must like it on some level.
I do like it. I like it a lot. It's like I'm trying to protect him from the age. Just like, oh, Steve, don't talk. Like, it's as though I've gone to, like, a bar with him and a bunch of woke young people have come up and started bothering him. And he's trying to explain something to them. Like, Stephen, just don't look at them. Just don't even bother with them. They're scum. That's kind of how I feel about this film. He's put it out, now it's getting all, like, this backlash or whatever.
Well, I
just kind of want to go, Stephen, you made a good film. Don't listen to these freaks.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even know if that's just an example that you just plucked out of thin air or not. But I've seen right-leaning commentators rally against it as well.
Oh no, it's not a. I was just giving an example of a type of person. I guess I was thinking of that college video where, like, the professor's trying to calmly explain, like, at the beginning of all this woke stuff, like, what something, and everyone's like, no, you don't interrupt her. You give her, and he's like, she asked me a question. I'm answering the question. That's the kind of vibe I get from young, quote unquote, critics online about people like this. Even if it's bad, you know, it's like, just leave the guy alone, for God's sake. I feel like he's in that courtyard and everyone's screaming at him. And I'm just like, they're idiots. Why are you listening to them?
Right.
Who cares? You know?
Yeah.
So that's my take. Yeah.
All right.
I don't care what they think. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what anyone younger than me thinks. I just fucking don't, okay?
Okay.
Widow's Bay.
Widow's Bay. The titular being an isolated island in New England presided over by Mayor Matthew Rhys, who is finally succeeding on his quest to turn said island into the next Martha's Vineyard. Yep. Life in Widow's Bay doesn't get much better than that. Gets a lot worse, actually, as all the ancient evil of the island that once lay dormant has now stirred from its slumber. Shit!
Okay. Yeah, from showrunner Katie Dippold, who's new to me, but she wrote for Parks and Recreation, which is a nucleotide in the DNA of this show.
Yeah.
She also wrote The Heat, Haunted Mansion, and the gender-swapped Ghostbusters.
Oh.
They are not representative of the quality here.
Absolutely not.
This is a brilliant show.
Yeah.
So yeah, Parks and Rec meets Midnight Mass meets Stephen King, which was Midnight Mass looking in a mirror. My initial take was, it's as though the mayor in Jaws was the main character.
Yeah.
Right? Like, resolve not to let monsters disrupt tourism.
Yeah. And the shark is
everything.
All horror.
Yeah. It's a comedy horror, and it walks those tones with acrobatic dexterity. It's funny, often laugh out loudly so, and funny without being parody.
Yeah.
It's occasionally genuinely creepy. Many scenes have a sincere tension, though that somewhat abates as the season progresses, and that's fine. You become more invested in the drama of proceedings.
Yeah, I think it's because you sort of become accustomed to not the horror, because I don't know if there is the horror.
No.
To this island.
You know why, and
yeah,
a bit more, and what and how and all that. But yeah, you grow to care about the characters, so that kind of takes over.
Yeah.
The director-in-chief, it seems, is Hiro Murai, frequent Donald Glover collaborator. He did This Is America, that music video.
Oh, okay.
The vast majority of Atlanta episodes, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Also Barry. He did a lot of Barry.
Oh, interesting. Actually, yeah. I see that in this.
He's a very accomplished visualist, and this does not buck that trend.
No.
Other directors include Andrew DeYoung, who did Friendship and The Chair Company.
Oh, yeah.
And Ty West, who did X, all those.
Yeah, he did the Back in Time
right?
episode, right?
Oh, yeah, that was him, wasn't it? Yeah. Matthew Rhys is unsurprisingly very good. When Shep's eyes turn white in the pilot, he has one of the most realistic reactions I've seen in a genre piece. He just takes you through it. You're with him, you know? He screams like a person would faced with sea hags and killer clowns, which is funny every time, of course, but nonetheless true to life. Just screaming. The supporting cast is similarly excellent, particularly Kato Flynn, whose presence was a nice surprise. I've only really seen her in Everyone Else Burns. She has a good face for comedy. I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And Stephen Root in the rarest of roles for him, where his talents are actually being used.
It's actually weird.
It's uncanny that he's not just wasted.
Yeah.
I was also pleased to see Kevin Carroll, who's John Murphy from The Leftovers, as far as I'm concerned, once again playing a man befuddled by strange happenings, in this case to more genre than existential ends.
Yeah.
There's also a touch of the Jack or Desmond from Lost to him. Just no time for any of this bullshit. Like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I know you said that you didn't like Evan, Tom's son, at the beginning of the season, and I get that he does start out as quite unlikable, but you do understand his anger at the beginning. You feel for him when he discovers the truth about his mother. And you're happy, I think, when he and his father reconcile. Like, by the end of the season, they pulled a 180 with him for me.
Yeah, I guess it was always through Matthew Rhys's perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kind of the revelations that are discovered regarding his son at the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah, it does kind of... the tragedy did sink in for me.
He'll never leave.
Yeah.
But also, I just figured growing up on that shit island, like, for a kid, it's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And you can't leave. You would be a mopey piece of shit.
Yeah.
The episodes are mostly under 40 minutes, which is a beautiful thing. The stakes and storytelling are clear and clean. I love stories about small towns. And I liked its episodic nature, a new ghostly or ghoulie every week, with distinct flavours while retaining the serialised structure. It's impressive how they managed to play with different subsets of horror without compromising the bigger picture, right? So we have the fog, the haunted hotel with a killer clown for good measure, the hag nods to the Ring and J horror, folk horror with the pagan-like rituals and bonfire like the Wicker Man, the trip, colonial horror a la The Witch, the Halloween-type slasher with a splash of Texas Chainsaw as well, the elements... a twister,
like weather horror.
Yeah, and ultimately moral horror, overtly expressed as a terrible trolley problem.
No, it was actually really nice when you pointed that out to me, because that's a detail that I'd missed through most of the show. Is that the genre of horrors were changing.
Yeah,
it's like the island was throwing everything at them.
Everything, that it's got. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And there's still, as you pointed out after we sort of finished the finale, because we watched this together. You stopped
10 minutes into the first episode.
Yeah, and you were like, Jord,
Let's do this
together, which was absolutely the right decision. But you pointed out that there's still plenty of horror they haven't yet explored that could go on to the set, because we know there's a second season. Yeah. So they've still got plenty to play with.
Lovecraft, like for me, when I'm thinking of The Beast, but it looks Lovecraftian, and they haven't done that. You said body horror, that's something they haven't done.
Yeah, they haven't done body horror.
So there's a lot they can still do. And recur. Like, I'll take another slasher, as long as it has a slightly different thing to it.
Yeah.
I love the design, the attention to detail, like the calendar, the self-help book, the Welcome to Widow's Bay video, where the guy just fucking walks.
Yeah, the calendar gag just encapsulates the humor of that show for me brilliantly. Because it doesn't even have any purpose, right?
No, it's the pilot, and he's kind of in the middle of talking to Patricia.
Yeah.
And I suppose the scene needed some business. Basically, yeah.
So they're talking to him, and he's got a calendar of wolves. That's the theme of the calendar. So he's flipping through like January, February, May, all wolves. He flips to July. It's just a car crash.
Yeah,
no wolf in the picture, and he's just looking at it like, what?
Yeah. And then like, what's his secretary's name?
Ruth. She often looks after his son. You know, she babysits for like the 15-year-old. Yeah, and she's like made like a little room for him. It's like, oh, I know boys love their cars, and she's bought him a poster of a car that's just a car, like a sedan. It's the most like unsexy car.
Yeah. So I love that kind of stuff, and the cards and board games at the end more than anything. Like the teeth, and he opens it, and it's just pliers in a box. Yeah, great. But which, incidentally, as well as The Shining, was, I'm sure, a riff on Barton Fink.
Okay.
Hotel. Like at first, it was just the vibe, the decor, and the voices heard in the bathroom. Which is very Barton Finky, but the peeling wallpaper solidified it as like a conscious reference to me. I like that when Tom trips, I know you like this, it isn't so much full-blown hallucination as it is the warping and exaggeration of reality and losing time.
Yeah, we complained about this, or I complained about this.
Yeah.
And necessarily complained about. In that past, we've complained about in adult animated comedies. I brought it up during the Among Us review, where
20,000 years ago.
Yeah, however long ago that was. Yeah. Usually that's like a mark of death for us in shows like that, because it's just like they all do it, and they all do it the same way. Yeah. Like I've seen what they think is like, oh, trippy and weird. It's like I've seen that 1,000 times.
Usually involves dragons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or it's like or just some bizarre oh, dude, it's like, bro, I don't care.
Yeah.
I loved when Friendship did it.
Yes.
And he just goes to a subway and that's it. It's the least trippy trip ever.
Yeah.
And I love what they did in this, where their way of like distorting reality and making him feel uncomfortable and like he's not on the level, he just loses time.
He just keeps waking up in different places, things having happened, and like just there's a constant kind of groaning soundtrack, which is that's true to life. I mean, look, we've partaken, not that mushroom, but
no.
Yeah, there does seem to be like a soundtrack to the experience, you know?
Yeah,
which is just ambient. Settling,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
And the sort of they use like really long lenses to make his face sort of unnaturally shaped.
Yeah. And again, it's trippy. It's filmed trippily, but not in not
aggressively.
It's just like Ruth just kind of gently emerging towards him. And, yeah. Sort
of the aggression of it is almost in like the absence of
just it's a bit off kilter.
Yeah,
it's like it's wrong. I just remembered as well the fucking when they go to the convenience store or the petrol station.
Yeah.
And his shoes there and the way he fucking runs.
Yeah.
Just like he's drawn to it. Yeah. It's great. Like a zombie.
And what's written on the whiteboard? It's like when I turn around, everyone
close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember writing that.
No.
Doesn't know what happened when he wrote
There's
that.
also a scene where the guy who's later, spoiler alert, doesn't really matter, but killed in the finale. He comes in to take out the trash and he's like, oh, you all hungry today? You're full up? He talks to the bin.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's one of those shows where I could just talk about things I liked endlessly. When Patricia tells the boogeyman story in the pilot, it could easily have been mere place setting, you know? But no, like she gets her own episode with that experience at the heart of it.
Yeah.
Which on balance, I would probably submit as the best of the season.
The fourth one.
Yeah.
The witch one. That was a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Just the shot where it's revolving around everyone dancing.
Yeah.
And then it passes behind someone and for a split second you see the reality of the situation.
And the mirror where they're all like open, like mouth agape, just like staring at it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like really well done horror where you're seeing the reality of it for a moment and you're like, oh, fuck.
And when Bashir's watching her on the camera and she's just sitting reading the book for like days.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like genuinely, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
The structure...
And they did a really good job... I'm sorry.
No, go on.
But they did a really good job of... When you realise that what you've been watching isn't the exact reality of things.
Yes.
It doesn't corrupt what came before.
No.
Because she's wearing like a little tiara.
Yeah.
And people are going, what's she wearing on her head?
Yes.
And at the time you're like, well, that's just mean.
But it's like, like who do you think she is? Like princess kind of thing.
And then you realise that she's been wearing like these antlers on her head.
Yeah.
And
Rosemary, who's like unaffected by all this, is like, I have qualms. And then when she realizes that she's like making rabbit blood punch or whatever, it's like, you had qualms? No, this perfect balance. I guess is exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, the homedy? I guess it is a homedy, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Or a horror.
A homedy.
A homedy.
A homedy. Yeah.
The horror doesn't corrupt the comedy and vice versa.
Yes.
They live in harmony with each other.
Yes. It's like Shaun of the Dead. It does everything just brilliantly.
To the point where it makes it look easy. It makes you wonder why there haven't been more of these.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The structure reminded me of Lost or The Leftovers again, with those overlapping and intersecting stories, you know. It was kind of heartbreaking when she saved the townsfolk from drowning and was then accused of drugging them.
Yeah. Which she did.
Yeah, but like not at her own behest, you know.
No, yeah.
The nature of a hero. True, like no one knows she saved them. You know, she has to continue to be vilified. And I also like the nuance that she did lie about the boogeyman calls. That he was in her house, but she did lie about the call. And there was much catharsis in her tasing that bitch.
Yes.
It really was. I suppose that two-parter deserves some special mention.
Absolutely.
Betty Gilpin and Hamish Linklater.
Yeah, as soon as he showed up, it was like...
All right.
Well, certainly that, but also it kind of put me in mind of something very bad is going to happen when we see Nell for a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, exactly. Legacy casting.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, cool, he's here now.
Yeah, like Pedretti and that. But it feels strange that we got here so quickly.
Yes.
The way it feels, anyway. But that felt like I'm acknowledging their references. I like the 4:3 aspect ratio as well for the historical scenes.
Yeah. And like the title card as well, the fact that it's sort of handwritten and in red, whereas every other title card is kind of white font.
Yeah.
They're really kind of, oh no, we are in the past. We are putting you in this setting.
Yeah, and there was something, they didn't make a big deal of it, but to me there was something quietly powerful about a centuries-old man seeing his children's toys as antiques.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
We're writing something about a vampire, basically.
Yes, yeah.
And that was the kind of thing I was like, yeah, that's the kind of thing you can do with someone that's that old.
Yeah.
And like just their natural possessions would now be antiques you could sell for thousands of dollars, you know.
I just found as well the transition from the past, like from the 1700s to modern day, being that they bury this guy, so it all goes black, and then headlights. Just a really cool
Stephen Root digging him up.
Yeah, really cool transition.
There again, like Lost, it's like you tell us character story, and now we're all back in the main. Yeah, and they get the transition from him kind of walking around, seeing his children's toys and like a map of the town, and then his wife, like a thing of his wife. And she's like, oh, it's so sad, and he just starts gouging her eyes. It's like yeah, just how do they do that? You know,
another great example of how the horror and the comedy live in tandem without corrupting each other is when he and Matthew Rhys meet for the first time.
Yes.
Because they say, oh, he wants to speak to you. This guy that's been like buried alive for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And he walks in and the guy is like sitting on the bed turned away from him. He's just scraggly hair.
Dark lighting.
Yeah. You can't see his face.
No.
But you can tell it's like not fresh skin.
Not quite human. Yeah,
it's not quite human. You don't even know if this guy can speak. So Matthew Rhys is like writing on the paper, gives it to... See you laughing already.
Yeah, because he
gives it to Hamish Linklater. Hamish Linklater writes a response, puts it down, and then as Matthew Rhys reaches across to grab it, Hamish Linklater just turns to him and goes, "Oh, I forgot something."
He jumps up.
Freaks out.
Something. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And then Patricia comes in like, I forgot my bag, and no, it's brilliant. Part of me thought the sheriff's wife wouldn't be real because we just keep hearing it, or like he's talking to her over the walkie-talkie or whatever, or the phone. Because I thought like, oh, it's going to turn out to be another expression of horror, like she's not real, it's a ghost. Do you know what I mean? But it soon becomes clear why they hold her back.
Yeah.
It's a great reveal that she's pregnant. They know how and when to spoon out their information.
Yeah.
You know? Episode 7 functions as a quasi-finale, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
You know, they actually kill Warren. After which you're not afforded an episode of them feeling free, where the threat slowly creeps back in. You get maybe 10 minutes, which is fantastic. Like, no, we're not going to bore you with, you know. They put together a convincing storm.
Yeah.
I really liked, and I'm aware this review is my just listing things I liked.
Which should be enough to tell you, like, we like the show.
Yeah. But
all we can think to do is praise it and elements of it.
The genealogy breakdown. I thought that was great. Like, it shows they've done the work.
Dead baby, lesbian. Yeah.
Not just in figuring out the lineage, but incorporating characters from the town's mythology. Like, and of course, that's the ungrateful Hortense. And like, oh, great. Like, they know it's not throwaway.
Yeah.
You know, it's all they've thought all the law through.
Yeah, you put your trust in the world.
Yeah.
And that it has a solid history.
That had to be the most fun in the writer's room, right? Coming up with a backstory and everything.
Yeah.
The Ruth reveal was a good misdirect.
Yep.
Of course, it had to be his son, right? But it adds a cool layer and a dodgy wrinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was deliberate.
Yeah. She's not that dodgy, though. She's actually quite sprightly for her age.
She is. Wrinkly, though.
Yeah.
We was watching it and we were like, God, for her age, fair play. Because the joke is that she's
not dying anytime soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wants her to have some illness or be unwell, but like, it's like making it harder and harder for him, basically.
I don't think we've actually established
No, I know. Let's say it just because it's too weird.
So, I mean, we're spoiling everything.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Just fucking go watch it right now.
Yeah.
Now!
Turn us off.
Yeah. The town, the island is cursed. It's evil, and it won't let anyone. If anyone who was born there tries to leave, they die.
Richard Warren, back in the 1600s or whatever, made a pact where, like, as people landed there, or shipwrecked there or whatever, they were starving in a freezing winter, and he basically ate a mushroom that made him commune with some island god, deity, or whatever. And he made a deal with the devil that if you let us survive and prosper, I'll basically sacrifice people to you.
Yeah.
For you to eat. Yes.
But that pact, again, kind of like something very bad is going to happen. So long as his bloodline exists, that pact remains intact.
Yes.
And
until that, if you're born on the island, you can't leave.
Yes.
You die if you leave.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they kill him thinking that he's the end of his bloodline. Turns out he isn't.
Yes.
Turns out Ruth is the end of the bloodline. So they have to kill Ruth.
Yeah, who's a secretary, who's like a nice old lady.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Very sprightly. Like we said, she's not dying anytime soon.
Yes.
So he has to kill her.
The opening of again, it's like how they get away with that. The opening of that final episode, we find out that she's the last one. Tom walks off to do something about it. And the opening of the last episode is him in the doctor's office going through her files going, come on, cancer.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the horrible sort of realization at the end is that she had a baby in secret, and that baby gave birth to
Tom's son,
because it was Tom's wife.
Yes.
So he has to kill his son.
Yes.
Otherwise, the island is cursed forever.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, that's the stakes for season 2. It's going to be him trying to conceal that fact from Stephen Root and Bashir. Certainly.
Well, certainly the sheriff. That was a shock, wasn't it?
A good proper moment of like, oh shit, just dramatic and kind of I liked how much of that final episode boiled down to a philosophical debate, internally and externally.
Properly breaking down the trolley problem, because that's how he pitches it to her, and she's like, "No, I wouldn't kill that one person.
I wouldn't do it." Yeah,
but he's like, "But please say you would," and she's like, "No, I wouldn't."
But all those people would die. So, well, that's life. I'm making a choice to kill somebody. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah,
the film reel evoked Dharma.
Yeah,
you know, loss is definitely in the DNA too. And whatever the terrible being is, like I said, I'm picturing something Lovecraftian. It shares a disposition with Pennywise. It likes the taste of fear.
Yes.
Right? By the by, if we never get to see a Kraken in this show, I will be bitterly disappointed.
They have teased the Kraken a couple of times now, yeah.
It's a show that benefits from multiple viewings. You pick up on little details. There's a book-ended joke about the pull-out method not working in the pilot and the finale. Yeah. In Evan's mum's letters, she refers to 2 mommies, and you're meant to think, oh, that's her fractured mind. But she's actually talking about Ruth and her adopted mother, isn't she? The finale left me with many questions in a good way. Who was making these offerings in the past? How long ago was the last awakening? I know the priest was wrapped up in all of that somehow, because he had the instructions for when the bells toll. And we bow out on those haunting tolls. Next season teed up. 8 more sacrifices demanded.
Yeah, not like 2 or 3.
No.
8.
8.
That's a lot to deal with.
If I have one tiny criticism...
No,
but it's not. You'll see why it's not. It's that Ruth and Wick are a little different at the start and end of the season.
Okay.
Ruth is initially dotty, and she's like, oh, it's the mornings that are hard, you know. I know it makes the reveal about her fitness all the funnier, but still, if you go back to the trip episode, there is a moment where she seems to, like, emerge towards him with that dolly zoom. I wonder if that was indicative of her significance.
Oh, it was like the mushrooms or the island was telling him she's important.
She's important.
Yeah.
And Wick in the pilot says to Tom, don't start correcting my grammar. I don't have time to go tit for tit with you. And then, you know, he's a drunken mess outside the inn, like, no! You know, trying to nail with another great joke. I liked how he became more of a dramatic force as the season progressed, with his wisdom and his origin story lending him gravitas. But by the end, he didn't feel like a hick that with a poor grasp of English.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Both characters suggest their writers were figuring them out as they went, but I stress it's only because I'm looking for imperfection. You could equally consider these things strengths. When Wick shoots the hag and Tom finally acquiesces to reality, he asks Wick, "Why is this happening?" And Wick somberly says, "I don't know. You just survive." That had genuine weight because he'd been like a goofy character up to that point. It was a turning point, and you can't have that turning point without the setup.
Yeah.
So
it also felt like, and I guess this is a point that I would maintain, because I think this is something I said about season 2 of Severance.
Yeah.
In the early episodes, it felt like the show was further ahead than you would expect it to be at every point. It was like, oh god, they know what they're doing because they're not dawdling.
Yeah.
By episode 4, we find out that she's not the version. She's not her innie, she's her outie.
Yeah.
And we Irving is sort of taken out of the cast and everything like that. But then it felt like in the second half they had to slow down a little bit.
Right.
Like we had a couple of we had Patricia Arquette's episode not long after we had what's the weird episode called where it's him and his wife.
Well, Chikai Bardo, but that precedes the Patricia Arquette episode.
Okay, but it feels like we had
that's 7, Arquette's 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it kind of slowed the momentum of the season down a little bit. This kind of felt the same, but I don't think the momentum ever slowed. It felt like the show was always further ahead than you would expect it to be.
Sure.
Because I think when we watched the end of the 3rd episode, the Hag episode, where he kind of embraces the reality. Oh, Wick was right. There's evil on this island.
Right.
You'd think that would have been like a late season revelation for that character.
And like I said, the season episode 7's a finale.
Yeah.
They kill Richard Warren, and good, it's over.
Yeah.
But no,
it's not. So it's good because it doesn't feel like the show is rushing.
Yeah.
But it feels like it has enough of an understanding of the story that it wants to tell that it knows not to dawdle.
In fact, I think a lot of people suspected that his son would be the final.
Yes.
So it actually retards that a little bit by adding Ruth as well. But it's a great retardation because it adds that wrinkle again. But now going into next season, because presuming she's alive, she may or may not be.
Yeah, we're not
I think they've left it ambiguous. Maybe the actress is very old.
Yes.
You have that little unit now. They know about what's going on. And so, it's kind of... He's had to contend with this now. That, I might have to kill somebody, So, it's very well done. I would say show of the year so far. I love The Pit, as you know.
Yeah.
But at the moment in my head, it is pipped The Pit.
It pipped The Pit.
It pipped it at the post to number 1.
Pipped The Pit at the post.
Indeed. What about you?
Oh, they're both very close to each other. Because
they are very close.
I'm watching The Pit with my mother at the moment as well, so I'm kind of re-experiencing that.
Yeah.
And I might watch this because she's expressed interest in seeing Widow's Bay.
Yeah.
But we don't have Apple, and we're finding it very difficult
to
find decent copies elsewhere. So I'd probably re-experience it with her as well. But yeah, they're these it's in terms of television, it's those two at the very top.
Yes, no,
they
100%.
are. Yeah, TV is kind of it's been okay. It's been some decent stuff, but above everything else, you've got
those two. I would agree. Yeah, and it has its own Google Easter egg, right? Which we discovered.
Oh yeah, we were trying to we
were trying to come up with a name for it. Piggy was what we...
Piggy, yeah.
Because what was it? Physical...
No, it was promotional...
Integrated...
Google Easter egg.
That's right. And Piggy's a good thing, but it's the things where you type in a certain thing on Google, and a little animation or whatever.
Well, I think I said it to you in the context of it's nice to see... this was shown on Gogglebox, which in the UK is usually a pretty good indication of how widespread a show is.
Which was a big surprise when you told me, because I know that people online are lapping up this show.
Yeah.
And the Television Critics Awards just been announced, and it's very well represented in the nominations.
Yes.
It's but I don't know how popular this is. It's on Gogglebox. It must be a bit of a phenomenon.
And like you said, the Google Easter egg, usually when you type in a show, like Spider Noir, for example, had one. You type in Spider Noir on Google, the screen would go black and white, and you'd get rain.
Right.
They're usually some sort of quirky little animation. You have to, to type when you type in the thing. Whereas with this one, if you type in Widow's Bay, you get a "Did you mean?" and it was something like, "Did you mean
Martha's Vineyard?
The next Martha's Vineyard that's definitely not haunted?"
Yeah,
or something like
Great.
that.
And it's because Tom's has a weird an inferiority complex when it comes to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah,
it says in the pilot they have a journalist come there to review the town. Basically, he's like, "Fuck Martha's Vineyard." And then there's that great little joke where everyone's coming in from the storm, and he's like, "Come on, everyone, get into the shelter. I hear it's worse on Martha's Vineyard, actually." It's like a great recurring gag. You know?
Yeah.
And it has pathos in the finale. She's like, "This is never going to be the next Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
Life isn't. It's not what you think it is. Life is fucking hard." And,
yeah. And we were speculating, weren't we? We said that, like, because the sort of like early on in the season, the sort of conflict within that mayor character is he knows there's all this evil shit on the island.
Yeah.
But also he's trying to turn it into this next big tourist hotspot, and he's succeeding.
Yes.
So he doesn't want people to know about all the evil, but he's still trying to get around the fact that, no, this evil definitely exists.
And that's a great, because you're kind of like, why are you so... And then in the finale, it's like a great... At first, you think he really is in denial, right? Yeah. But that he kind of maybe knows some things and doesn't want to look at it. But then it's like, no, he does know. His wife would point it out to him.
Yeah.
And he always did know. The reason he brought in the tourists was because he wanted more for his son, because he knew his son could never leave.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's really good. Is peel back those layers.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
And then, all of the tourists, they get trapped in the storm shelter during the storm. So the reputation of the island's in the tank at this point. But we speculated, didn't we? Like, maybe the second season... Because there's that moment in the first episode where he thinks something evil is going to happen, so he reacts to it. And the journalist is like, oh, you're trying to turn this into like a Salem type
I get
thing.
It. Yeah.
So like, is the second season going to be, all the tourists are back, but because they want to go to the haunted island?
Maybe. I don't... I mean, it's Storm. It doesn't quite confirm that. I know Dale sees the video and everything. I don't know how far that news spread. Maybe it'll be about him trying to actively keep people from the island. Could be that.
But it shows like the richness of the world and the show, isn't it? That like you're able to speculate about these kind of things.
Yeah.
And not in a, this was disappointing, so it'd be good if next season they did this. It's more through the lens of like, this was really good. I wonder how they're going to sort of transpose that element into future seasons.
And they can obviously keep the thing, because it's demanding 8 more sacrifices. Like, they're not going to do that, presumably. It's going to be like, they're going to have to decide how to not do it.
Yeah.
So it's going to keep throwing horror at them. It's brilliant. I hope... They don't need an end game yet, but I hope they at least have an idea of, like, one little note that I'm thinking about as well. That PJ Glanville, I'm not convinced he's up to...
What's this?
The son's friend that he's often like smoking weed
with.
Yeah. He locks that... he shuts the door on that guy, which means he's consumed by the creature.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking as well, like, remember that episode, I think it's the Trip episode, where they're out smoking near... the Slasher's house. He's like, go knock on the door, go inside. I bet you go. Was he trying to get fucking Evan killed? Is he somehow one of these people that is part of the lineage that sacrifices people to the island?
He's an agent of the island.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see.
He could just be a stupid teenager.
No, he probably is.
Yeah,
but we've seen that there was an infrastructure where like you've been chosen, and
fleshing that out is another direction they could go in as well. Like you said, like Dharma, where we kind of learn more about them. And, No, I'm excited to see where they go next.
Yes, it's a rich vein. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Enough now.
All right, then.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.